Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Friday daytime stream. It's 3:38, and we're just starting. You ready? So let's go in. Let's fill this in. Last night was pretty interesting. Almost all sales were live custom boosters or Pokeshuffles. So, that has me thinking those are pretty popular. I wonder if I can make them better. All right, so today we shall say Crimson Invasion box split. We'll also say live customs and Pokeshuffles are hot. What does that imply? Does it imply that they're desirable or that they're, good to open? Live customs and Pokeshuffles, and how about, what's one more thing? Let's see, free giveaway, Friday giveaway. We do a giveaway almost every day, but I don't know. Free Friday giveaway. Good, all right. So there's our title for the daytime stream. You safe, mister? Get your swimmies. I went swimming today for like 2 hours. And then I rushed home to try and get all my work done. Okay, let's see. It wasn't even that great. It was like really cloudy out. I was hoping to get a lot of sunlight. Mr. Ziggy sent me a message. Is that right? Yes, I am human. Why would it ask me if I'm human? Yes, all right. Why would Discord ask if I'm human? Of course I'm human. Oh, maybe it's because I put hey in all caps. All right. So, let's see. I just paid my Missouri sales tax today. But these Missouri sales tax were quite old. It turned out my accountant had not been collecting Missouri sales tax the entire time. So I just paid like 7 years worth of Missouri sales tax today. Here we are. The state of Missouri had caught on to it and said, you're not paying your sales tax. So they said, you better pay it. Here we go. Okay, let's see. But that was pretty easy. We got that taken care of. I was just disappointed that my accountant did not do that. Like, what did the accountant think? That we didn't have to work on that? It just doesn't make any sense. So I'm really thinking about getting a new accountant. They charge so much too. I pay so much money to have them. It's $700 a month just for an accounting team. And I feel like we do half the work. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and ping. Yeah, they kind of suck, dude. And then they didn't even collect our Missouri sales tax, so I had to pay it all now. The crazy part is I didn't owe that much. We're going live, which maybe is why Missouri didn't notice for a long time. We're going live for Friday day. When it's not a lot of money missing, people don't notice as much. But so, yeah, it was a couple $1,000s, so it's not nothing either. But that's pretty interesting that the sales tax are so little over like 7 years, basically. And you know what that tells me? We almost never sell to Missouri. It just doesn't happen. We don't sell to Missouri. All right, so we've pinged. But what I would like to do is move over here to Instagram and ping over there as well. You hear about Logan Paul's first edition break again on July 30th? They're opening yet another box of first edition base set. Is that what I'm understanding? Man, they ought to preserve a couple boxes. I don't know how many boxes are left in the world. But that's cool. Yeah, if they're doing that. Hit refresh on this. So we're going to cross-pollinate as usual to Instagram and Facebook. Okay. And we're going to jump here. Let's delete this. Okay. And we're going to delete this. So we're cross-pollinating to Instagram and to Facebook about our YouTube live stream. Doop, 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 doop. Oh, that's the, okay, there we go. All right. And what do we have over here? So Mr. Mike Side posted a coin video this time. I doubt the coin video is going to do well. Coin videos never do well. They just don't. I got an actual, I'm gonna hide this. Somebody came into my Facebook and posted an ad on my Facebook. That's so annoying. All right, ridiculous. There we go. We're closing that. All right, good. So we've cross-pollinated, and now here's a junk email and another junk email and another junk email and another junk email. What is this? This is notice of cancellation. Oh, right, that was for the insurance. So we're no longer insuring the home that's for sale to have renter's insurance. Why? Because we're not renting it. Okay, and what's all this? We paid Roku for a TV show we don't watch anymore. Recent payment to you did not complete. Okay. Good, all right, so let's grab the website. We're making progress here, guys. It takes us like 5 minutes to set the stream up, I swear to God. Do you still have that Meloetta? Yes, yes we do. We got the Meloetta. It's for sale. Okay, let's see. So that's pinned now. And what else are we needing? What else are we needing, guys? Am I missing anything? I don't think I'm missing anything. I think I just got to turn the comments on the iPad. And then we're good to go. I had a turkey glizzy for lunch today. I was in a rush to eat something, anything. And Karis had these turkey hot dogs, so I ate one. They're terrible. They're so gross. We are. I'm going to say it. Turkey hot dogs are inferior, man. Turkey's so nasty, dude. Turkey hot dog my ass. Gross, man. More like protein tofu pulp. It tastes so bad too. It has like no flavor. Who's eating turkey hot dogs? Other than my wife, apparently. It's so gross, dude. Let's go ahead and open this. I'll never eat one of those again. It was so gross. It was like, if you're gonna eat a hot dog, just go eat a hot dog. Don't punish yourself with turkey hot dog. All right, let's see. I've missed you, my love. Oh, there's one more step. There is one more step. Are you ready? All right, so I'm grabbing all this. Oops. And I'm grabbing all this. We're gonna push these back a little bit. That's how we do it. We're grabbing all this. Okay. Moving that. So I have to get Mr. Mike's side paid. That's the next step. So we're going to do that right now so that Mike's side's got some disposable income. Okay, we need to zoom out. There we go. Okay, how's that look? That look a little better? Look at that cool Bowser card. You don't want to try and pull that Bowser card? I saw a lot of people go into the live customs last night. Bowser's good. We could put him in the live customs. He's $300. He would fit. He's under 400. All right. Did the Darth Vader gym break go off? There was a Darth Vader gym break? I can't remember it. Oh, gym break. Okay, hold on. Let me look into that in a minute, okay? We're going to go over here to Mike's side. And we're going to jump over to the pins. Okay. Here he is. Okay, I'm gonna grab this. We're gonna head over to PayPal. I absolutely hate turkey. Listen, I like turkey, like, you know, like roast turkey is fine. Turkey legs at a carnival, nothing wrong. Turkey sandwich, not as good as a ham sandwich, but it's still a sandwich. It's like, it's not bad. Turkey hot dog is like some sort of zombie product, dude. It's so terrible. All right, so we want to click on this. I have less money in my account because of those tax payments I just did. It's hard to keep up with it all, guys. It's crazy. You feel like you're making money, and then you pay all the bills and the taxes and everything, and your mortgage, and then it's like you don't have as much left over as you think you were gonna. So Mike's side, how about a bonus $100 this month, Mike's side, because of the success on Instagram and Facebook. Okay, so keep that up. Let's work extra hard on those. That was good stuff. What stands out to me about what happened on Instagram and Facebook is a lot of it's experimental, right? Like we were trying new video formats, and in particular, like the auctions of the week. That was a big win, but that was an experiment. So it shows you experiments are important. And also getting access to Instagram and Facebook was important, because in the past, you only ever posted to YouTube. So we could have been doing that for 7 years. So I think we just started including TikTok. The only other one I can think of is X. And X has never given me good views. All right, let me hit send. All right, you just got paid. So paid this much plus a bonus. It's not all good, Mr. Mike Side. You'll notice, just like I noticed, that Facebook views are way down, actually. Facebook views are way down for some. Did I say Facebook? YouTube views are way down. YouTube views are way down. We don't know why. And you know what? It seems to correlate with live stream views being down. So our live stream views are down as well. So live stream views are down and YouTube shorts are down. Let's go over to analytics. Says here we have 140,000 less views than usual on YouTube. And between the three of them, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, YouTube is the worst performer. And yet, across all three platforms, it's the same content. So something's going wrong. We don't know what it is. Who knows? Maybe YouTube is expecting us to improve our content. Maybe YouTube is expecting us to do long format. I couldn't tell you, but YouTube is the least successful. And that's pretty dangerous, because that's where we host the stream. So the live shop that makes this all possible, because that's where the money's made. The total live stream viewers is down, even though sales don't seem to be down. The total people watching seems down, and yeah, that does correlate with a pretty significant decline in viewers. Why do you think that's going on? I wonder what that is. I wonder if YouTube is kind of hiding the channel a little bit, or something else going on. Let's see, last 90 days, you can see a decline over time, last 365 days. Oh yeah, it's clearly down. It started dipping in June, by the way. So June is when it started. It was still okay partway through May. June comes around and views just suddenly, not suddenly, but they pretty significantly slow down. So I don't know what that is, but we have to figure out how to improve those views. Again, because Instagram and Facebook are cool and all, but I think we get our live stream viewers from YouTube. And we can try to get some viewers from Instagram and Facebook, but if they don't join, they don't join. So yeah, that looks pretty rough, actually. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the lifetime views. We're getting pretty low views right now, even historically compared to the past. Look at that. You guys want to see it? I'll let the audience see it for fun. So check that out. So a huge spike over here. This is in 2023, I think. So a huge spike here. And then we're pretty steady right here. We would have probably crossed into 100,000 subscribers around here. And then right here, we slow down a lot. So I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think the trick is? Maybe people on YouTube have watched enough Pokemon content. They're like, yeah, we've seen it. All right, a puzzle to figure out. All right. I don't think that's something only for you. I've seen others saying the same thing, says Musobot. Yeah, like it could be something like YouTube is suppressing Pokemon live shops. You know, maybe YouTube recognizes what we are and they're saying, well, we don't want to focus on that kind of content because it's not entertainment, it's merchandise. You know what I mean? So it could, who knows? Show more feet. We need more free ones. Not much, just been really sick these last 2 days. There's a lot of fake Pokemon creators out there now. All right. Well, we are started. I'm so tired, actually. I did swim for like I think I swam for like an hour and a half. Oh, I left my drink in the other room. I'm so dumb. Check it out. Crimson Invasion is here. It's back. Remember that? Okay, so we have a fresh box of Crimson now. This box will be opened. It's $30, 36 and 36. This is a box split. That means everyone's getting in there and it's going to be opened and all the packs are going to be opened. No leaving any packs sealed. Here it is. So I haven't been advertising this as hard because we needed this box to arrive first. And so here it is. So the box is here. It's $30 per spot. We're chasing Chibi Pikachu and Gengar, which the Gengar last sold for like 2.4 thousand. And I bet you the Pikachu's worth even more because it's a unique looking Pikachu. It's a very good looking Pikachu. But we found out Cubone's in there. We found out Melodic is in there. We found out Jigglypuff is in there. There's a lot of good cards in Crimson to chase after. Serious cards. I mean, the last sold prices are proof that this is a valuable box because of its holos. And we're in a new time period where, you know, we always treated holographic cards from like, you know, like Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, and even XY and Black and White. We treat those like big, expensive hits. Well, that wasn't true for a long time for Sun and Moon. But what's happening is time's transitioning the Sun and Moon holos into being actual hits now. So even just pulling a holographic that grades 10 could be worth like $500 these days. And there's a lot of holos in these sets. Crimson Invasion is one of the cheapest Sun and Moon sets because people don't understand that yet. They don't understand that we've moved into this new time period where you even grade the holographic Sun and Moon cards. They don't understand that. So they don't understand Crimson Invasion's ranking is actually much higher. Do you get that? So Crimson Invasion's, for some reason, it's the cheapest Sun and Moon set, but its true ranking is much higher than some of the other boxes. Pikachu, Gengar, Melodic, Cubone, Jigglypuff, to name a couple. That's good stuff. Plus, from the actual hits like the textured, you know, like the Full Arts, the Rainbow Rare, you got a shot at this really good-looking Gyarados. He's not bad. Gyarados is still decent. All right. When I bought in, the price was still at 27. Want me to send for the rest? No, you're good. Anyone who bought in at 27 gets it at 27. Now it's 30. I mean, you can give me money if you just want to give me free money. All right, here's that. I almost call him Charizard. Here's this Darth Vader 9. Look at this. No, you're good, Mr. Shahir. You got in at the old price. You're lucky. So you might not want to have those returned at all. Beautiful. Mini Diamond Refractor. That's what they're calling it. It's a Mini Diamond Refractor. All right, Darth Vader. Wait, how much are they? Crimson Invasion spots, $30 per spot. I'm exhausted. I want my drink. I am exhausted. So let's take a look. We have a big Garrett order. Garrett might be doing Slab away or something. Let's find out. Garrett says Meloetta, Superior, and Zacian. They're all gone. Okay, all three are sold. Mr. CS-Man's going to be pretty happy with that because he's probably going to use that money to pay off that Venusaur he put into Slab away. Mr. Garrett, we're happy to provide these slabs to you. Here it is. 1, 2, and 3. That was pretty good, huh? And CS-Man doesn't have to do any taxes. He doesn't have to do any shipping. Pretty uncomplicated. There it is. It's like you've hired me to sell your cards for you. And yes, I get a bit of a cut, but you know, there's no eBay fees. eBay takes 13% anyways. There's no eBay fees. There's no shipping you have to pay for. Yeah, if you sold these on eBay, you might have to ship each one of these for a little over $7 or $6. You know, because there's materials and labels. It's really actually pretty good. So I think that it's pretty fair what we're doing right now. So what we'll want to do, we'll want to get out the store credit. I'm going to put a red circle on this check mark, and that'll make it easier to find because I keep having trouble finding this one. So here's CS-Man's card. So he's got a store credit card for $125. Now that's from past sales. He's already had a couple sales. We have to go ahead and head into our Discord server and mark each one of these as sold. So that's our sort of like back end. It's hosted in Discord. We have a consignment sold channel now to help people know when their item is actually sold. We didn't have that in the past. You just kind of checked in. But now you should be able to publicly see it. CS-Man, Zacian, 135. CS-Men Superior, 140. CS-Man Melo Eta, 120. All right, so those are all sold. Now he needs his cut. He gets a cut, right? So we do 75% is what we do. If you got a really big card worth multiple thousands, contact me. We'll give you a better rate, right? So that's kind of how all consigners do it. You know, if you sell a cheaper card, you don't get as good of a cut. If you sell a big expensive card, the seller doesn't take as much. The consignor doesn't take as much. Okay, it comes out to $296 plus $125. So he has a store credit card of $421 now. There it is. And he's got a receipt in Discord so that he knows that they did sell and how he obtained that 421. In your opinion, should I grade all my minty, or at least look mint to my eyes, Skyridge, Aquapolis, Expedition, Hollers, or leave raw? Hey, that's a great question. So when the cost of grading is really cheap, if it ever is, I would go ahead and grade them. Also, if you want to know my strategy, which I know you do, that's why you come here, we have a conversation. We're like a wealth of knowledge over here. I like grading those kinds of cards with like tag, because tag has that crystal clear case, so it just looks really nice. But tag is closed now, so, you know, they're not cheap anymore, and you can't even get them anymore. All right. Mister, I'm here. I know you were worried. Let's see. I have first edition Ghost Rare Stardust Dragon. I'm wanting to grade. Could I sell it UWay for grading? First edition Ghost Rare Stardust Dragon. I'm wanting to grade. Could I send it into you to send in the grade? Yeah, we can do that. Right now, we got BGS and CGC have normal pricing. Tag is closed and PSA is basically closed. So we end up doing either a BGS or CGC. Now, if you have a really big, really expensive card, we really could send it off to PSA or to Tag if you prefer, but it will cost you a lot. I mean, there's so much money involved if you're just sending one card to PSA or one card to BGS, because it's going to cost you, first of all, their base rate is super high now. I have to ship it to them, and that's going to be insured shipping, and it's not going to be cheap. They're going to insure ship it back to me. That's not going to be cheap. There's going to be taxes involved, because you actually pay taxes at that checkout. And then I want a little bit of money for doing that work, so I'm going to get paid like $10 or something. When you add all that up, even if PSA says something like $80, it really comes out to like 115 or 120, whatever it is. I don't know. I have to look into it. But it's a lot of money. You know, taxes on $100, that's almost $110. You know what I'm saying? So the real cost of grading emerges as you start to work on it. It's much higher than it looks. I'm going to grab my drink. It's in the other room. BGS is like the same way. Like BGS will say, oh, $40 shipping or grading, I mean. Okay, then you go over to BGS and you fill out the insurance form. They have a very simple, like, what do you want to declare it as? After you declare it, they apply insurance to the cost of every item insured at that rate. And the actual price of grading jumps. So, there you have it. Okay, so let's see. Big Garrett order. Thank you, Garrett. What's next? We're on the website. We need to head over to orders. Click. Looks like no orders on the website. Yesterday, these live customs were going insane. Like they were just selling over and over and over again. And the same was true for these Pokeshuffles. Mister didn't write the name on those slabs. Good catch, good catch. Sorry, let me get that done. Garrett Nadal. Good catch. Alexis would probably be very confused. She'd be like, there's no names on these. And I'd say, oh, sorry about that. and then I'd fix it. Garrett Dald. All right. Good. Yeah, keep an eye on me, guys. I make little mistakes sometimes. That's why it's so nice to do everything in front of the camera, because you guys notice it sometimes. Hope I spelled that right. I probably spelled it wrong. Can you please show slabs on the tables and breaks? Okay, let's show slabs on the tables and breaks. Windows security. Why do I need Windows security right now? All right. Slabs on the table. We got Wisp for 7. Now, you've got a little bit of cash, right? Don't you? TRG. I bought the Gyarados back from you, like we were talking about. So that's yours now. Okay. Mr. My message, please. I saw last night's stream in the Discord 9s. You didn't update. You took the second picture to Pokeshuffle and some on Gigi's channel. Yeah, you know, I'd have just take down the 9s channel at this point because it's so probably out of date. The 9s channel is just full of out-of-date pictures now. Okay, put that back. All right, so we've got Wisp, Giovanni's Nidoking 8, Charizard, Sudden Assault Kobeni is very cheap. It's 25. Here's that Luffy break with 9 spots. This really nice Gyarados poker. I don't think that'll last. I really don't. Too cheap. He's cheap and he's good. Here's that Trico trade break. It's only $5 to get in. Your odds are 1 in 60. He's an expensive vintage card of a starter. Now, you could alternatively trade in a bunch of junk cards to get in here. That means like you can trade in a pile of Hollows, a pile of EXs. You can even take stuff like ARs or SRs that you don't want because you're not into them and trade those in too. Okay, but that's getting close to the end. Here's Grimmsnarl, another nice. So it's a red label, but it's only overpriced by $10, by the way. If you didn't know that, it's overpriced by 10%. That's what he asked for. Here's Bowser Break. I showed that off today. Here's a new one. Some of you guys probably didn't catch this from last night. This is the Himeno signature from Chainsaw Man and the Aki signature, and they're sequential, 5-3, 5-4. So you get both of them for only $320. To put that in perspective, the case they came out of was like, I think it was like over $1,000. I think it was like $1,500. So I absolutely lost a ton of money on Chainsaw Man. The problem is where you're supposed to pull Chainsaw Man. There's probably 3 really good signatures in there. We didn't pull any of them. Chainsaw Man, Makima, and Power. Those would probably be the big ones. And we didn't pull any of those. So we pulled all the stupid ones. Darn. All right. But it's a cheap signature if somebody wants it. Here's Blastoise. You may need it for your collection. This would go nicely into my collection. All right. Look how worn out this box is back here. That's the how many times the slabs have rubbed against the paint. Here's a quick drawing. Here's a TCC giveaway. That's the giveaway. We're going to finish that. Professor Oak. That won't last. Here's another Professor Oak. It's cool. Gym Leaders 9. Pretty expensive. Okay. We got these 2 pack splits. Those might take a while, but they're a big deal. They're a big deal. You get a guaranteed card in those. You don't always get a guaranteed card in like the Pokeshuffles or the live customs. Like sure you get a common, but you know, in the pack split, you actually get a vintage card. And those sell for a lot of money too these days. Here's Vader. Here, that's a gym break. You can buy it for 40 if you want the whole thing. Here's Charizard. Yeah, if you see a gym break and no one's in it, just send for the whole thing. Toshiro Hutsugaya. I feel like I'm going to have to list this on eBay. I doubt anyone's going to buy that. Here's Vader Kenobi. Okay, somebody wanted this. This is priced up now. Pretty cheap too, mind you. Here's Shining Tyranitar. He is on the move. So there's like 4 people in the new sub list. He's on the move. Here's Kuromi Black Label. Weischwartz Secret Lloyd. Nami Consignment. Charizard. Red Label Charizard got up here. There he is. Light Flareon for only 1,000. Ishigo was a 9, sadly. Venusaur for 1,000. Now this is a big deal. This Venusaur is a red label Venusaur. It's a red back Venusaur, I should say. 1996 red back. That'll be what people try to collect. That'll be like priority for a lot of collectors. This is also pretty rare. There's only one Tyranitar like this, and it's from Silver Deck, Gold Deck Part 2. So he's probably popped like 5 or something. I don't know. Well, I'll look it up for you guys. You want to know how rare it is? Mr. My comment. Wouldn't it be worth it to send to PSA, pay the 150, the card as a 10 is worth like 30K? Oh, I mean, if it's a $30,000 card, you said something and I didn't know what it was. It is. All right. I didn't know it was 30,000. Yeah, I'd be happy to send that in for you. Okay, you ready? Pop 10. Yeah, you're going to have to pay for a higher tier grading then. Either way. Really the benefit of having me work on it is you get to see it. Everyone gets to see it in front of the camera when it comes back, so that's kind of cool. I guess the downside for me is there's risk involved for me. I don't particularly love having someone's expensive card on my hands. Just another thing in my house that doesn't belong to me that could burn up in a house fire or something. Charmander, Jolteon, Mimikyu, Ekans, Skewer, Kadabra 10. Typhlosion, he had a price update. He's $630 now. It's a better price. Fake Gundam, Hancock, Galaxy Red 5, Red 5 copy leader. This is an $80 signature, if you can believe it. 80. Nothing, basically. Devil Hunter Kishibe from Chainsaw Man. Dawn, 110. Darkrai, 250. And this consignment Pikachu. This is the only consignment raw card. Very cool. I might have to start adding raw cards to the table. You guys want me to do that? Sent for the Professor. Okay, sounds good. Professor is sold, everybody. Eric Rodriguez placed an order for the Vader Gym Break. All right, Eric Rodriguez. Hear that? So it's a freaking woodpecker. Hold on, I'm going to mute the camera. Yup, it flew off when I banged on the wall. It's huge. It's a gigantic woodpecker. It's not a small one at all. It's gigantic. Flew off. It looks like a freaking hawk or something when it flies. All right, terrible. I have a woodpecker destroying the side of my home. Eric Rodriguez. We paid a lot of money to fill the woodpecker holes on this home. We paid like almost $400 for that. And now another woodpecker is doing the same thing, or the same woodpecker. Let's see. Where'd it go? It was just here. Wait, is it all the way back here? That's a Charmeleon. What happened to it? We just had it. It's missing. There's so many slabs. We have slabs that go missing. It's so crazy. Oops. Just supposed to be easy to find because I put an exclamation mark on it. I didn't set it to the side for you, did I? Oh, they're so unhinged. Woodpecker wants all the pokies. Yeah, he flies over here. He must hear me talking through the walls. And then he still decides to drill on the side of the house like a dummy, dude. Wait, did I just put the... we just had it in our hands like 2 seconds ago, and now it's gone? Oh my gosh, it was folded over. That's so annoying. All right, so they can get folded over. It has to be the last card in the pile and then have its sleeve folded over like that, and then you can't see it anymore. So annoying. All right, Eric Rodriguez, you're in. We need one more person for that. Okay. Doesn't have a mark on it, the gym break. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's got a mark on it. See, it's got the exclamation point, but it was folded over, so I couldn't see it. I was gonna go crazy. I was gonna lose it. Now, let's see. We're going to jump over here. We have an order, Javier Arroyo. He says 3 Ascended, 2 Live. You got it. 3 Ascended, 2 Live. Sent for the other spot in the gym break. Okay, the gym break's over, everybody. Don't try to join it. 1, 2. Good. Code, and the jumbo pack got pulled again. Wow, we just put it in there. Okay. Oh, wait. We don't want to do that yet. We don't want to do that yet. Put these back here. All right, so you've pulled the jumbo pack, which can actually be re-rolled. You're not forced to open this. It's optional. It's a cool thing. Here it is. So you can either have all these booster packs opened and placed into your bag, or you can re-roll it for, re-rolls for 125. That's what it re-rolls for. It's got some cool stuff in here. So, it's a mix. There's some Pokemon, like here's Destined Rivals. It's a mix. You got Pokemon and you got non-Pokemon. How much for the Charmander and the Charmeleon? I take both slabs. I can send one payment instead of two. Well, the Charmeleon's 40. I don't remember what the Charmander is. Does anyone else remember? Is the Charmander up here still? I would keep that sick. They're fun to open. It's a mix of everything. And really, if you can just get one big hit to pop out of here, that hit graded 10 could be worth more than 150. But it's there's also a risk it doesn't pull anything. So it's just sort of like opening any booster packs. But it's got these 3 solid English packs. And then it's got a variety of Japanese packs too. I think there might be a Korean pack in there. Okay, we got these right here. Okay, so you got some non-Pokemon and some Pokemon. Tough decision. All right. Is there any Suicune or Kyogre slabs? Those are my favorite. It's a great question. We did have some cheap Suicune slabs, but I think they might have made their way. Re-roll. Okay, he's going to do a re-roll on it. How do I do this? Do I mark this as 125 this time on the card? Should I mark it as 125? Because then the card's got 125 on it. I guess I will. Okay. There you go. All right, re-rolling time, baby. There are some cards you can't re-roll, like the star card is not a re-roll. Or if you get shifted into one of the other shuffles, that's not a, you can't re-roll that. But the jumbo pack actually can be re-rolled. You don't have to keep it. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know the audience loves to see it get opened. It's entertaining. Cent 79. If it's more, let me know. Okay, sounds good. Let's get these put back together real fast. So your re-roll will be for 5 spots in the live custom. Good luck. Oops. All right. The next time that pack gets pulled, it's based off of 160, and I put it in there for 150. I'm going to remember that. From now on, it's going to be based off of 150. There we go. I'm not thinking straight about it. I had to do the prices right. There you go. I guess that can be corrected. I could remove one $10 booster pack from it. We got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, good luck there, Mr. Javier. Ta-da. So we've got, aha, Mega Scrafty. One more hit. We got 2 packs left, maybe another hit. One more hit. Ah, just the Mega Scrafty. All right. Mega Scrafting it up. Put this back. Okay. Let's go grab them. Okay, Mega Scrafty. Ooh. Actually, you know, if you think about it, we can make the jumbo pack $200 and actually add quite a bit more cards to it. That's an interesting thought too. But then it would pull less often because there'd be more cold packs. Decisions. A lot of poker cards in here these days. Is at the very end? Oh, he's at the very end. $100 Mega Scrafty Alt Art. So you can re-roll it for $75. Here he is. He's from Mega Dream, and that's an Alt Art SAR. Ooh. It looks really nice. I wonder if the $100 is even accurate anymore. Maybe he's worth more. I feel like I could have sold this for $125. I want the spear out of the live customs if it's still there. Yes, it is. It is still there. Give me the cold ones, mister. All right, it's not totally cold. Technically, you've gone from 150 to 100, but it's not zero. All right, keep it. So you went from a $50 2 live customs to a $100 Scrafty. Still a win. Okay. All right. I can throw this away. And these can go in the bulk. And this can go into your bag. So you do get to keep this little poker card. It's, you know, it's a bonus. It's a nice thing. How much do you guys like the bonus cards in the live customs? Would you call it pretty important? Like, you know, like they're really satisfying? How do you feel about them? There's Marnie. She's nice. Starmie for only 400. You know, I feel like I can lower the Starmie. I feel like the Starmie being 400, just in my book, it just seems too expensive. It's Starmie. I'm not looking to way reduce it, but people that don't keep live life on the edge. Now, the 3 Ascended Heroes, we're not done. Opening Pokemon cards is about living life on the edge. I mean, every pack you open, every break you're in, you know what I'm saying? It's like, the whole thing is risk. Every pack you open is another risk you're taking. That's the fun of it. If Pokemon card collecting was just like, you could go to the store and just pay a price to go collect, I don't know, Mega Gengar Alt, it just wouldn't be the same anymore. It would represent a very different sort of like world almost, you know. So, okay, tossing that. People that don't keep live their life on the edge. All right, so let's snip this. Russ is here. Hey, how's it going, Russ? Ready? Snipping this. Snip these. Tossing this away. Tossing these away. What do we got? Ooh, I'm sorry. Maybe one of your packs go flying there. Here's Noivern Braviary. My finger simply moved and it like touched the pack and then it tripped over. Okay, Hollows in pack number 2 and Clefairy. It's because when you're in vertical mode, your hands have to be like squished together. You're using about half the table. How do you guys feel about vertical mode all this time later? Who likes it? Who doesn't like it? Javier Arroyo. Let's grab this. 1 Lily's Clefairy. You know, it's crazy. I think the live customs treated you better there. There you go. Ascended Heroes is so rough. Yeah. I just ordered more of it the other day, a lot more of it, and it took a huge chunk of money out of my account. Professor OK. You got it. Professor Oak. Here he is. This was a Team Rocket Grunt item. So we're going to head over to the consignment channel and say Team Rocket Grunt, Oak, $65. Okay, and we're going to say 65 times 0.75, which is 48.75. I'll roll that up to 49, so it's 49 plus 65, 114. Do you think the value of sealed product will go down as people start using X-ray technology to scan sealed? I don't think we're close to that because, you know, CT scanning or whatever it's called, I think it's still not something regular civilians can do. It's considered dangerous. It can give you cancer. It can give other people cancer. So you can't just, I'm pretty sure you can't just buy an X-ray machine and put it in your home. I'm pretty sure you have to have like a license given to you by like the government for industrial use. And then I bet you have to meet a bunch of safety standards. And then how many people want to risk getting cancer working with CT scanning? You know, because I assume doctors and technicians do it really well. But what if you're just an average guy without certification in those things? So yeah, I would say certainly there's probably going to be a company that forms that will officially scan your vintage box to prove to you that you have a sealed box of authentic cards. So that'll be a thing. Like I'm pretty sure TCC Gaming is already doing that And I think it's a good thing. I think it's going to lead to graded booster boxes. So pretty soon, I'll be able to take my booster box collection, set it into a CT scan grading company, and they'll scan the box and give it a certification and say, yep, this one's real. And then, you know, go into a nice display, and it'll be encapsulated or whatever they're going to do with it. And then finally, you'll be able to put that on a shelf and say, yep, this box is real. You know what I mean? So I think we're headed that direction. But the average person just being able to scan packs all day, probably not. Probably not. You'll have to send it to this company, and it'll be like scary to do. Do you think the value is still products? Okay, I read that one. Horizontal is better, says Andyman. I hate vertical mode, says Shahir. So here's Jose Redondo, and he says, for the gym break. All right, the gym break's going off. Jose Redondo's the other half of it. All right, Jose Redondo. Did you need a new card? Yes, you did. All right, let's see. Jose R. Redondo. Okay, good luck. Eric and Jose. Set that there, set that there. Pop this in here. Okay. Good luck. Would you guys like the ability to expand this deck? I think if we just got more Eevee sleeves, I could allow you guys to donate cards to this deck because it's kind of small. I'm pretty sure it's not a full 60 cards. Boop. Ooh, you got the Dung Beetle. That's no good. And he got Tyranitar. Round 1, Jose Redondo. Round 2, Eric Rodriguez. This is going off. Oh, Eric Rodriguez stays alive with Spidops here. Spidops beats Rapidash. And last but not least, oh, that's strong. Electivire is hard to beat. And Electivire does beat Articuno. There it is. There's the end. Eric Rodriguez picks up a win again. Wow, he's 3-0. That's pretty good. Sorry, Mr. Redondo. That's what that looks like. Eric Rodriguez has handed out 3 misses to somebody. Jesus. Okay, that's a gym break and it's over. All right. Here's a one-piece break. Jump in there. Here's the trade break for $5. Here's the gym breaks. Breaks. Breaks in my vocabulary. That's completed. Completed. Here's Eric Colburn. He says Darth Vader Anakin PSA slab. Yes, somebody was asking about that. It's officially sold now. Very cool card. It's sold even though it got a 7. People want the artwork. Here it is. Imagine it graded 10. I could have sold it for like 100. 150. Terrible. Have you gotten my cards back from PSA? Korean Moltres and Houndoom. Let me think about it. So, I don't know. Are those cards we originally tried to send a tag and then tag rejected them and then we forwarded them to like PSA? Is that the idea? Also, did you actually check our Discord server for like the PSA submission channel? It's all public, so you should be able to see which submission you're in, and you should also be able to see which submissions have returned. So I don't like memorize everyone's cards and if they came back or not, but it's not ringing a bell, so I don't feel like it came back. Here's Ivan Rodriguez for both slabs. So here's a Charmeleon. This is sold. Now, you want the Charmander, too. There was a Charmander up on the table. Let's find that. How much store credit do I have? Here you are, 114. 114, the Professor Oak sold. Okay, that's cold. Let's see. We've had quite a few consignment sales recently. Ah, here it is. proving that the table's not a terrible place to sell some of your cards. I'll advertise this again. We have a new thing in our Discord server where if you have something at home you want to sell, you can just submit that to me in DM and say, I'd like to add this to the consignment channel. And then I'll take your picture and add it to the consignment channel. Not the Charmander. Oh, that's Mr. Russ saying not the Charmander. I think you're saying not the Charmander like that. I think that's what he meant. Yeah, the Charmander. They both are sold. Here they are. What does the pack split mean? And the numbers on the bottom. It's been a while since I've been here. Hey, what's up, man? So, this is our pack split. We've been running these for a long time. This is the price, $98. This is the number of spots you're buying in and what your odds are. So 10 over 10 basically means everybody's getting one thing. So there's 10 cards in the pack. Each person is getting one of those cards at random. So you randomly get a card. So if you're lucky, you pull Misty's Tears. That's a common trainer. And if you're also lucky, you're the one who pulls the holographic card at the front of the pack. There's a holo in the front. This is guaranteed heavy. For those who are not familiar with Japanese packs, that's guaranteed heavy. It will have a holographic card in it. Excuse me. What do we have here? PSA 9 Ancient Mew. Isn't that sad? Oh, look at that number. This was part of this submission. Oh, yeah, it is. I recognize it now. Suppose we should do something with this at some point, huh? Put this over here. I like him. We have an order. It's Roki Hune. He says 4 live customs. Roki Hune, he likes the live customs. Good luck. What do we got? A 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you ever put the Charizard under the tree into consignment? I had wanted on the Pokeshuffles. The Charizard under the tree. Yeah, I think we did. That might be on another card. I did that for somebody. We might have 2 cards. Hold on, wait a second. I'm confused, actually. Yeah, I'm confused. We sold one of those for somebody, didn't we? We sold a Charizard. Let me go over to consignment sold. Mew, Group of Hidden Fates. We sold a Charizard under the tree, and it was a 9. That was mine. That was my Charizard that we sold. Yeah, that was mine from a return. So that's why you got me. You confused me there. That was my Charizard. I know it was. It was from the return. We are. But if you have one as well, I don't think that one's been listed. So I don't think that one... Sleeping Zard sold yesterday. That's correct. But that one was actually mine, just coming back from the return. It is. Let me put that there. Let's open these for Roki Hune. We kind of stopped in the middle of his order. Sorry, man. There you go. I gotta not do that. I gotta focus on one thing at a time. Sometimes if the audience asks me a question, I try to answer it right away because I'll forget otherwise. Come on. Oh, 4 cold ones. I pulled a 9 from the shuffles. Yeah, I believe you. I'm just saying the one that sold the other day, that one was definitely mine. I had just picked them up off the floor with the other slabs, I'm pretty sure. So if you have one for sale as well, it's likely not been taken out of the boxes yet. Sleeping Zard sold yesterday. Musabot says, no. Yeah, I'm afraid it's a cold round. I'm going to place this over here. You deserve a second chance bounty. Here it is. All right. The bounty shall say, Roki Hune. All right. Seems like it would be hard for me to miss an opportunity to sell a Charizard. We should write your name down on a card and say to go retrieve it. TRG, get Sleeping Zard. You don't remember me getting it, do you? Do you remember me getting it for you and putting it up on the table for sale? Wasn't there a gym break one? You know, the thing is, I can't remember everything we've done. That's just how I am. I can't remember everything we've done. Here's Chet Zeg Vong, 1 live custom. So we know to go looking for a Team Rocket Grunt now. Team Rocket Grunt Charizard. You ready? So he's going into a different part of the box. Let's see if he has better luck. 1 live custom. 1 cold live custom. Live customs have quickly become a very popular part of this box, or part of this channel. There we go. I was just listening, not watching the video. I hear you. So I bet you your card has not been added to the table. I bet that's what's going on. Here's Javier, 2 live customs and 1 magic pack. Okay, Javier. Let's see if Javier has different luck. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Ready? We got 1, Ghastly, and 2, cold one. All right. Looks like there's a pretty good chunk of empty packs back there. I can add something new in there. 1 Marvel pack. All right, 1 Marvel pack. Haha, there it is. 1 Marvel. Snipping this. Good. And Panther Pounce. Oh, wow. Christian Bale as Black Panther. Here's Hero in Training. Here's Repulsor Blast. U.S. Agent John Walker. Hulkling Burgeoning Bruiser. Dismissive Denial. Lurking Lizards. Fogwell's Gym. Hulk Smash. What? Here's Planes. Ooh. Wasp, Shrinking Savior. Overwhelming Stampede. It's kind of cool. Thunderbolts Conspiracy. All right. Black Panther Redirection. Boy, that'd be really nice in a holo. Ooh, the Sentry Golden Guardian. And Soldier. All right. Wakanda Forever. We are. Black Panther makes me uncomfortable every time. All I can think is just some other guy made it. Here's Hulk Smash. There we go. And here's Black Panther. All right. Good. Let's see. Wasp. Let's leave it up this. And Dismissive Denial. Oh, U.S. Agent. Who doesn't want U.S. Agent? He's my favorite. All right. Tossing this here. Tossing the Ghastly here. Very good. Javier Arroyo. Grabbing your bag. Thanks, man. There we go. So, I suppose we should add another thing to the live customs. What do we got? All these non-Pokemon cards. How about this Kylo Ren dual card, huh? Mini Diamond? Do you guys want a Kylo Ren in there? We're resorting to some non-Pokemon cards because we actually are kind of running out. Tops. Kylo Ren. Let's see what the price on the, or not the price, the number on it is. All right. Can I find one just like this? Doop, 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 doop. All right, I'm going to place him into the Pokeshuffles, but it's going to be cheap. Not the Pokeshuffles, the live costumes. I want to make sure the live customs stay really well stocked. Oh, we're running out of stickers. Almost time for more stickers. Hidden cost of operating the channel, the cost of stickers. Wait, why did I get these big fat stickers? I didn't need this. So he's going in for 75. 1, 2, 3. That's the cheapest a pull ever is $75. That's as cheap as it can go. All right. Is there anyone in the Mega Break? Yeah, there is. The Mega Break sublist has like 4 spots taken. I think it's 4. So that is on the move. There we go. There's Kylo Ren. All right. Nice to have that taken care of. What else do we have? Team Rocket Grunt says, let me get 2 live customs and 3 Pokeshuffles. 2 live customs, 3 Pokeshuffles. So I tell you what, to make things uncomplicated, let's give you a bonus $1. So now you have $115. And so you'll have $50 remaining from that. $50 remaining. There it is. Wow, the whole stream's Pokeshuffles and live customs. I'm shocked. It wasn't like this all the time. You guys really like these. 1, 2. It's the reroll, isn't it? Here's Fomantis and Murkrow. Ooh. Is it Murkrow? Is that his name? Yeah, Murkrow, Honchkrow. Okay, and then maybe the Pokeshuffles will treat you a little bit better. The live customs were cold. Squirtle, use Squirt. 1, 2, 3. Good luck. Oh, that's rough. I'm sorry, man. That's a straight cold round there. Man. All right. You have $50 left. What to do with it? I'll toss you into the second chance bag right now. Second chance gets pulled a lot. Here's second chance bounty. A couple guys been going in there, huh? Okay, we're checking the website. Okay, the website's empty. Very nice. I think we're caught up with orders. So for a second, what I'd like to do, I'd like to put together a miniature Pokemon pack thing in the Pokeshuffles. So I'd like to introduce a new Pokeshuffle pull, and it should be made out of a variety of packs, just like the Jumbo Pack Break. But let's make it a $65 pull, perhaps. Yeah, $65. So I'm going to grab one of these to get us started. And one of these. I just have a lot of these. So you're just always going to get a sneaky bunko. We're going to grab one of these. And we're going to grab one of these. Because these are no longer on the menu. And it's because we have less than a box of them left. So that's what's going on with those. And we'll grab a Powerpuff Movie. Those are almost gone. We're almost sold out of those. And what else shall we grab? We'll grab one of these interesting Trump packs. So it is a variety of odd packs. It's not strictly Pokemon. All right, and then let's grab one of these. And one of these. And one of these. All right. What should we call it? We should call it something. I like watching, says Alex. What? Well, it looks like we got a large Ryan Castillo order. So Chaos Rising is 10. That's 5. That's probably like 3. That's 5. That's 6. This is 12. Probably like 8. And okay, perfect. So this will come out to $65. Is there anything else I can squeeze in there? Let me try and squeeze one more item in there. Do I have anything over here? No, actually I don't have anything over there. What about over here? Do I have like a Korean pack? Yeah, here we go. What was that? Oh, I knew that would happen. So some bulk cards and a baggie fell over. They're still falling over. God, dude, we have too much bulk. It's so outrageous. All right, I gotta like put all the bulk somewhere. I can't believe I just let that happen. I wonder if all those cards just got like dinged, basically. We gotta have a term for this. Jumbo Shuffle Pack. It's called the Jumbo Shuffle Pack. That's what we'll call it. They have a value of $65. Why don't you sell the bulk? Yeah, that's a good question. We do sort of sell the bulk. This will require 13, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There you go, 13 of those. Oh wait, before we put it away, let's get it into the box. So we'll say that it has a base value of 65. It would be easier if these could not be re-rolled, but I don't want to force people to open packs that they don't want to open, so we're going to allow it to be re-rollable. Maybe it'll be an item that never gets cheaper or something like that, you know, like so it gets reset each time. So you pull it for 65, you re-roll for 55, and then it just goes back in for 65 every single time. It never gets cheaper. That would make it simpler. All right, let me grab these. So, what fell over here? Yeah. God damn, dude. It's because I don't have enough room in this room, dude. I need more room in this bedroom. Okay, now it cannot fall over because I put it on top of my personal collection, which is not a solution either. Not a long-term holding place. Ryan Castillo, Slab Away PSA 10 Galarian Slow King, if you still have it. Yes. Where did you find him? Is he in the 10s channel? Let's see. There he is. He is in the 10s channel. He would be in this box then. Could have called it assortment pack. True. True. I'll go call it the Tammy pack. What do you think? Let's grab this. Aha, there he is. Galarian Slow King. Honestly, I felt like he was a hold. Like, you could just not sell that card, and he's probably going to go up. These pristine cards have never moved. Maybe time to study some pristine sold prices. All right, so here we have it. Ryan Castillo. Okay. What the? What do you guys think? Should we call it the Tammy pack? Slab away. We'll go over here to Ryan. Here's July 26, Ryan Castillo. PSA 10, Galarian Slow King Alt, $400. 300 remains. There it goes. All right, that's the live customs been, not the live customs, that's the Slabaway has received a bunch of new entries recently. Roki Hune, 4 live customs. Man, you really like going deep on these. Let's grab them. Did you hear Taylor Swift got married and people are taking bets when they will divorce? Maybe they're really in love. I don't know. It's hard to tell, isn't it? Do you feel the love? I don't feel the love. There it is. Can you feel? Oh, she got her big boy toy. How long does that last, though? I don't know. It does feel somewhat superficial. Oh, yes. Okay. So we got something. Whoa, look at those jugs, man. What the hell? All right. Oh, yes. Check Discord regarding TRG Zard. Sent you info. Yeah? Let's see what you say. Mr. Founded, 2 days ago, you forgot to give him credit. Oh, okay. So he is saying that I did forget to give you credit for it. Charizard. Okay, I'm gonna give him credit for it. So here's Sand/10. Good catch, good catch. Now, is it because you watched the video and you saw me like fill out the card for Beatrice and I didn't give him the credit? Is that what you saw? I'm just double checking. I believe you. Let's go ahead and grab. Oh, it's gonna be in this box. You know, I think it's confusing because it was probably the case that he pulled it and then he resold it right away. That's probably what happened. All right. So it changed hands multiple times. I bet you what happened is my brain believed it was still mine. That's probably why I didn't pay it out. Okay, so here we are. Ooh, wow, that's kind of underpriced, I feel. That's the Poker Sand/10. Now, what you notice is he used to be $175, but he's been re-rolled. So now he's $125. So you can re-roll this for $100 or hold on to it. Yellowback, that's Pikachu. Yellowback Sandslash, King of Hearts. It's a very lovely looking card. The red and the green version of this card look much uglier. There's an ugly camo around it. I can send you a clip. Yes. Okay, well, then we got to get him paid out. So it looks like the card sold for $86. I'm going to head over to the sold channel. Good work, Mr. Ivan. All right. Let's see. It should be here. Here it is. All right. We're going to say TRG Zard 86. All right, Mr. Team Rocket Grunt, you got even more money. $64. Let's see. Grab this. 107 is the clip time. Reroll. Why? I'll reroll. Well, you can reroll anything, so anyone can reroll anything any of the time. What was it? 64? Oh, we should just do plus 50. 114. You're back to 114. All right, TRG, you're back to 114. That's really funny. So this has been re-rolled enough times that I'm going to do a price check on it and potentially buy it back out of the box. We're going to say PSA 10 poker playing Sandslash. There's only 2 for sale. They're both in auction. Let me check sold. Okay, I'm going to exit out of there. Let's try. We in the buy it now? Oh, we're in auction. That's why. Okay, let's go to buy it now. There we go. Okay, there we go. We were in buy it now. It looks like the original price of 175 stands. So it's still 175. Well, should I reset it maybe? If he re-rolls it down to 100, I don't think the next guy is going to re-roll it down to 75. I think I buy this back out. All right, you're going to re-roll it for $100. Let's go get your $100. If Slab gets too cheap, I buy it back. Just the wrong person pulled it. Somebody who loves Sandslash needs to pull it. 1, 2, 3. And how many spots? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, good luck. So you're hoping to pull something worth more than 125 out of these 4 packs. Good luck. We got 1, 2, 3. Oh. 4. No! Oh, man, that's rough. Dang, dude. That is quite rough. Dang. Well, this constitutes you getting a spot in the second chance bounty. We're seeing a lot of that. Oh, it's Rokiun. Dang, dude. I feel like I've seen you do that once before. The re-rolls are scary. Sometimes they lead to like really big hits. Sometimes they lead to really big misses. So it can go either way. It's very scary. Yeah, that's tough, man. You want another bonus card? I'm going to give him another bonus card. Give him a little bonus card just for fun. How about a, do I have anything? What do I have? Let's see, maybe this. I missed the binder break. Does anyone miss the binder break? Remember when we used to have a binder break? I remember. All right, how about, I got a vintage card. Kingler Topps Vintage. How about that? It's kind of cool. Let me ask you guys a question. If you could imagine the binder break in a way that would get you excited for it, what would it look like? Would it be one big expensive card? Would it be a bunch of cheaper cards? Would it be a whole bunch of expensive spots like 40 times 10? Would it be really cheap, like $25 times 4? What would it look like? I also missed the medium and large. Let's see. We basically have the medium and large. They're just Pokeshuffles and live customs now. Okay, Rookie Hune says, 1 Obsidian Flames. You got it. 1 Obsidian. Where do we keep Obsidian? I do not even know. Ah, here it is. We have a spot. That's it. 1 Obsidian Flames. Can we call that pack of booster packs in the Pokeshuffle the mini pack? I'm going to call it the Tammy pack. What do you think, Mr. Russ? Here's Surskit, Toxel, Entei. 1 Cold Round. That's some Pokemon RNG for you. So we got a couple of hollows here. Obsidian Flames, what have you done to us? Candy pack, I approve. I like the fat pack. Here we are. All right. Let's call it the Tammy or the TCC pack. I miss spending money. Now I got responsibilities. What are you talking about, Alex? Alex, you don't have any kids. You talking about like a dog? I got responsibilities. You're having this. There we go. Give up on everything, Alex. Go straight back to Pokemon. Let's say PSA 9, Flagon 101. Now we're going to say lowest price. We're going to say buy it now. I know Alex, big adult. Ugh, you should make Javi Homie packs. Javi Homie. Javier Homie. Being a parent, I have a buddy that has 3 kids now. All right. You guys just watch. When I turn 65 and I convert half of my cards into like $3 million of stocks, I'm going to do I'm going to have 12 kids through surrogacy at the age of 65 all at once. And I'll hire 2 or 3 maids or nannies to raise them all. That's the strategy here. Don't you get it? You don't have kids till you're 65. Then you have 12 kids all at once using your, the vast amounts of wealth you built. And then, they inherit the wealth. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just coming up with shit. All right, you ready? So the Flygon's going in here. Tammy said TCC packs. Hire me. I'm a clean-aholic. All right, you ready? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I want my kids to be a science experiment. Ooh. Imagine all the science we can do. You're right, Alex, but oof, that's a lot for yourself, Alex. Let's see. What is Alex saying? So Alex is saying, it's hard. There's so many blue names here. He says, I got girlfriend and car plus house to take care of now, plus dogs. Dogs? Okay. Back. There we go. This over here. And I'll have a sip of this. I mean, you should be able to sell the dogs for a nice little profit. No, I'm just kidding. We share and help each other, plus sell each other. No, Mr. Killing Me. Tell the girl to pay for herself. Yeah, the reality is I'll probably die before 65 from being fat or something. I don't know. So, one day I hope to rescue 10 dogs. You mean like adopt 10 dogs? Man, I don't know about that. That sounds like crazy dog lady kind of vibes. That's too many. That's too many. Let's see. That's like crazy cat lady. I don't know about that, Alex. Oh, here's the card that had a little crack on the back. That's so annoying. What to do about that? That's so annoying that this card has this. What did we do to figure this out? Wasn't it that you just had to tap it gently? I think you had to tap it gently. Like if you tap this hard, it actually forces the card higher up into there. I don't know. I'm not going to slam it or anything. Dust offs. Remember to gently tap. I'm going to leave that alone for the moment. We have one of these. Okay. One Piece Day. Too hard, slam it. All right. Here we are. I buy it. I'm missing one thing if the price is good. We're going to say 100. That card is supposed to be in good shape. When I bought it, it wasn't cracked like that. They must have cracked it during shipping. Here's a waifu card. We got Miss Makima. Creepy. I love that it's the black and red swirl, just like what we do. Okay, but she's a bad guy. I'm not a bad guy. I just like black and red swirls. It is. Okay, and paying less taxes. I mean, that's not a crime. There you go. Devil Hunter Makima. Pikachu Gengar dropped from 5K to 3,500. Picked up 2 more. We are, let's see. We're going to say PS10. Makima. E058. The Chinese cards do scare me a little bit. I'd like to know where they're manufactured exactly, because I've heard that they get manufactured in Japan, and I would love to confirm that. Okay, Weiss Makima. If they're being manufactured in China, that does scare me a little bit, because I wonder if they would like here in America, we had people steal, you know, cards off the manufacturing line. I wonder if they would do stuff like that over there, or if, like, you know, maybe they would print more than they were supposed to or something like that, you know what I mean? I feel like Japan wouldn't. I don't know why. All right, let's see. Maybe that's an assumption that the Japanese would never commit a crime like that, like a business crime. I mean, I got ripped off by a Japanese vendor, didn't I? So we're going to go with $100 on the Makima. All right, there we go. I think they won't reprint and stay exclusive, but you never know. They're printed in Japan. That's what I heard. So I'm hoping that that's true. And if that's true, that gives me a lot of confidence in them. All right. Also, how does Japan afford to do that? Japan must have like a humongous printing facility, because they still have to print all their own stuff too. How are they printing enough cards for the Chinese? Team Rocket Grunt says, let me get a live custom and the rest for my slab away. All right. Banking the rest. Smart move. So 114 minus 25. Should be 89 remains. Grabbing this. You guys ready for Maggie and Negan to get together as a couple in the new Walking Dead spinoff? They're going to be kissing. They're going to be hugging. Boom. One cold one. All right, one cold one. Can't wait for it. All right, one cold one. $89 gets applied to Slab Away. Team Rocket Grunt. He has CGC-10 Blastoise. It's going to be 1145 minus 89, which is 1056. Boom. All right. I'm ready for White Boy Summer. Hey, TCC, sir, any updates with the guy that used the credit card for $12K? No updates. I bought a new Gengar yesterday, mister. I sent a picture on Discord. Now, I'm sure it's all going to be charged back. I'm pretty confident about that. I bought a new Gengar yesterday. I sent a picture on Discord. Nice. They used the same exact facilities as the regular Japanese cards. Ripped off by a Japanese vendor. What's the story? He was proposed to me as a new supplier, and at first it went pretty well. I ordered a couple like one-piece cases from him, and generally he would get it shipped faster. Like it would arrive before the release date, so that was an advantage. And it was a little bit cheaper than my regular guy, so it seemed like a really good situation. Then I did an order with him, a pretty big one, and it was a variety of sets. It included all kinds of things. You guys remember the Build Divide set? That was one of them. He missed an X-Men shipment, so I bought a Weiss X-Men, and he shipped only one case when I purchased two. And anyways, so I did this big order. It was like 7 different cases, and they never arrived. And that's a lot of money. And then he's like, oh, actually, it got caught up and sent to the wrong guy. So that's what he tells me. So he tells me he's incurred a huge loss from this, is what he explains. And so I wait for like a year for him to fix it. He does fix a little bit of it. He reships the very worst cases. So cases of like, just like unpopular sets. He very quickly fixes that part. But the good expensive product like Pokemon stuff, he never fixes it. So at some point, almost a year goes by, and I'm still buying stuff from him, and he's fulfilling the new orders, but he's not fixing the problem order. A couple years go by, not a couple years, a year goes by almost. And I say, okay, look, something's wrong. Let's get this wrapped up. Let's get this off the books. Why don't you convert the value of these cases into some new product that's coming out and just ship me that? And that new product at the time was Pokemon Black and White. And he agreed to this conversion. But the problem was I was already losing a ton of money, sadly. So for me, the deal was bad. It was already a bad deal for me, and I was accepting it just to try, because I was scared he was never going to give me the product. I had this feeling in my stomach like, who lets it go on this long? No one normal would let this problem drag on. He doesn't want to fix it. That was what I realized. So he agrees to this conversion to Pokemon Black and White, and then he ships that out, and only half of it arrives, and the other half, we can see in the tracking numbers, just gets returned to him. So he's like shipping it bad or something. Like, I think the Trump tariffs kicked in, and half of it got returned to him. So I said, okay, well, I only received half, and you got the other half, so why don't you just ship that out to me? He never does for a whole nother year. And at this point, I realize he's not wanting to ship it out. This guy's scamming me. It's a sort of fraud. It's a type of business theft where they're like, oh, well, we just can't do it now. So I finally threatened to involve the police and to write a bunch of reports on him. And what he does is he ships me like a Japanese black and white, like thick packs of black and white. But I counted it up, and it's less than what he owed me. So he's a scammer, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to pursue him because I know the details. Like, it's almost like he analyzed it and decided to ship me a little bit more, just enough so that it's not worth my time to pursue him, because I can actually hire a lawyer to go after him, and I can write all kinds of reports, and I can contact the Japanese police to let them know that he's done fraud. And he sent me just enough that I didn't feel like working on it, because it's like, I could just go live and sell cards, that makes money, and I'm very good at it. And do I have time to work on pursuing this guy legally? So he's another scammer in the scammer book. You just get hit with this stuff all the time in this. Pokemon cards is full of greedy scammers, thieves, bad people. They're all over the place. It makes you cynical, to be honest. Like, I've been doing this for a while now, 7 years. almost done. 7 years are complete in November, and then we start year 8, right? 7 years. I've seen so much in 7 years. I've experienced so much. And you just sort of realize humans are like hairless apes. That's all we are. You ever seen apes at the zoo? You know, making all their noises, throwing poop, hitting each other. We're like that, but like a little bit smarter. And so when it comes to resources, people are just wicked, dude. There's no rules. The only thing that stops people from stealing everything from you are the terrifying consequences of going to jail for the rest of your life or whatever might happen to you. That's it. Humans are nuts, dude. Like, I don't trust anybody, and I just assume the worst at this point. Like, I just assume it, because enough bad things have happened to me in life. Enough bad things. Even from when I was a kid, living in a family with 10 other siblings, it was just insanity there. And then my parents were crazy, and then I got older, and the rest of the world was crazy. Just lots of negligent people, violent people, people who have drug problems, people who have, they're just, people have theft problems, crime problems. They're all over the place. And I'm this kind of person who finds following the rules very easy. For me, it's so easy. It's like, just follow the rules. Just do what you're supposed to do. It's so easy. And society is so much better when everyone does that. And so for me, I'm like Lemon Grab or something from Adventure Time. I think it's funny that someone compared me to Lemon Grab one time. But yeah, it's like, this is unacceptable. Like, the guy who was my vendor and didn't fix it and did everything he can to delay fixing it for 2 years so that he could recuperate his losses, and then sent me not the complete order, but a partial order, knowing that maybe I will give up. It's so unacceptable. It's just a kind of business fraud. Kind of like Bricks and Minifigs, actually, except this guy's not Bricks and Minifigs, but he is a guy in Japan with the card business. He has like a website and everything. Yeah, he's a scummy business guy, and I would never do business with him. Even if it was profitable, I wouldn't do business with him, because I know what kind of guy he is. Here we are, another spot in the trade break. Hey, let's count this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 30, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. There's so many bad people out there. I hate it. I hate it so much, dude. I want to move to a society like UAE or Switzerland or some other place where you've only got like really high class people in there, and that's it, and no one else. And it's just, you can only get in there if you worked really, 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 really hard to get in there, and that's it. No one else is going to make it in there. It's just too expensive, or it's, I don't know, it's something, so it drives me nuts. Negligence. And I've made mistakes. There's a difference between making a mistake and negligence. So making a mistake is like, your brain's not a human calculator, So you make a mistake. That's just how it is. You're not a robot. But then there's people who are negligent. So they make a mistake and they don't fix it. Now that's horrifying. It's like, what the hell? But there's so much of that in the world. And I can't, it just drives, it makes my skin crawl. I can't stand it. It makes me go absolutely clenched cheeks insane. That's how crazy I go when it happens. So it's like, when somebody has to cheat to make money, it's like, why don't you just go make money? Right? Like, go pick up a box and move it from point A to point B and get paid to do that. That's what makes money. Go do something. They're like, nah, I'd rather steal. It's like, damn, you suck. You're like the curse of society. You're you're like the original sin of humanity or something, like, you're the reason humans are animals instead of angels. Damn, dude. If only I could get like 1,000,000 miles away from you on the other side of the world. If I could just get far enough away from you, I'd be happy. So I have this terrible feeling about it. And it's always been that way. We are. I mean, look at me. I ran away from home and I didn't go back. What's that all about? I just can't stand it. It just drives me that crazy. Here's Baz B. How many packs did you owe you? So he owed me 2 cases of white and 2 cases of black. He shipped the equivalent of 1 case of white and 1 case of black. He did that probably knowing I was not going to file a lawsuit over just 2 cases, because it's not worth the effort. It's not worth the money. You actually have to pay a Japanese lawyer to do all this. You are. So the amount you would pay the lawyer would be close to the amount you would be getting back anyways. So I think he probably knew that. Hey, we got some Naruto cards. Sharingan of Tears and 8 trigrams Air Palm. Are you a Capricorn? You sound like my little brother. He's very honorable and very money-focused. Well, I don't know. I'm, like, sensitive. I get disgusted quickly. I think that's what's going on with me. I get disgusted really fast. And I think that's what it is. I think my brain over-focuses on things. I think that's the very thing that makes me good at video games. My brain focuses in on one thing, and it can't let it go. It just can't. It's like it has to think about it. And it's because it's obsessed with fixing it. Oftentimes, when I see a problem, it looks really fixable. And I'm not a perfect person either. It's just like maybe I find something in my life that I wouldn't struggle with, and I go, I can't stand that someone else is struggling with it, like theft. Maybe somebody's just struggling with making money, and for them, it's easier to steal than to go make money. And so they're struggling with the human failure, the ship that is theft, right? And it's like, I just can't stand it, because it's like you can just go make money. There's so many places, there's so much work to do in this world. It's everywhere. You can see it everywhere. This tree needs to be chopped down. This house needs power washing. This lawn needs to be mowed. That shelf needs to be filled. This shipping needs to be done. This card needs to be encapsulated. You know, there's work everywhere. So there's ways to make money everywhere. But that's not as easy as the easy money you get from stealing. So stealing's easy money. And people get really excited for easy money. They go, oh, I want easy money. Easy money. Come on, bro. Give me some of that easy money. So stealing's easy money, and it's just like nuts, dude. If you want easy money, go get a engineering degree, right? Engineering is maybe easy money, but here's a problem. People aren't smart enough for that, so they can't do it. They don't have the skill. Are you ready? Skill issue. You don't have like the IQ to be an engineer, so you don't get engineer money. You don't have the IQ to be a doctor or a lawyer. You don't get doctor or lawyer money. You don't have the IQ to be a financier, so you don't get financier money. So this leaves jobs that are simpler for you that pay less money. So now you're like, oh, well, where's the easy money? I want the easy money. Mr. has... Oh, man, this app is so slow. I was kind of going crazy there. You guys were... Do you guys ever get like a sense of me when I'm talking? Do you ever feel like this guy's a little off his nut? I feel a little off my nut sometimes. I feel a little crazy sometimes. I get so wound up. That's the word. I get so wound up sometimes. And I just feel like yelling, you know, like just fix it. Okay, so we have, here is a pretty old order that says assembly. And here's another old order that says assembly. Estimated time, June 12th. So this is probably the January order, if I had to bet. This order has, at the very top of it, it has a signature from Chainsaw Man. It's Power signature. And so that's, it arrived in January, so it's got to be that one. So it claims to be an assembly, okay? Estimated completion time was June. Obviously, we're past that time. After that, what is this? Is this just 4 booster packs? So after that order, we just have a booster pack order that is taking forever. And then one more bulk order with 130 items in it. What's that got in it? So we only have 2 more PSA orders, and then we're out. Interesting. Let's see. You need a vacation. It's just passion. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Yeah, some kind of passion. All right. We lost you for a bit. Didn't hear everything. Oh, really? Let's see. I say the same thing about people who live in the hood. I wouldn't say engineering is easy money. Karis makes it look easy. She does software engineering, and I guess you could call it programming. But she's good at it. She sits down and she just codes out a difficult thing, and she just codes it out. And so she gets paid a lot of money to do that, and she makes it look easy. So if you just have a big-ass brain, you get easy money. That's it. You get a lot of money for having a big brain. That's it, guys. You want easy money? Go be like super smart, which I don't think people can control that. I think you're born smart. I think you're born with motivation. I think you're born with the ability to not be negligent. You know, why beat somebody over the head to make them go be a better person when they're just born a good person or they're born a bad person. Maybe that's at the core of my philosophical beliefs about the world. I look at a person and I don't see someone to fix. I see someone to get extremely far away from. I say, get this person away from me. I never want to be around them again. And so that's my family. That's me running away from home. Because I had siblings like that. I had siblings who were just nuts, dude. I had siblings who were like really nice, and then I had siblings who were crazy. And you could reason with them. You could say, hey, why don't we work together? We can all live together, right? Like, it's funny. It's kind of like Walking Dead almost, right? Walking Dead, if you watch that TV series, it often philosophizes, is that a word? It often speaks about how in an intense situation, a survival situation, humans split between two groups, cooperative humans and humans that would sacrifice others to win, right? They do that. In the TV show, they do that a lot. And, you know, so if you're in the wrong group, it's hell. If you're in the right group, you have a society. It's really nice, actually. And I felt that growing up. I felt that split. I could see siblings and go, okay, this sibling, it's really trustworthy, and they're considerate, and they're clean, and they work, and they can do math. And then you get another sibling, they can't do any of their school, and they're just like screaming, and they're just crazy. By the way, I'm talking a lot because we have no orders, if you didn't know that. So when we have no orders, I talk more. So, you know, you get other siblings who are just kind of crazy, and you can reason with them, but it doesn't work. No reasoning will change their minds. And I was with them even when they were children, when they were babies. So you would see the nice children, they smiled a lot as babies, they played a lot as babies, they were energetic. And the kids that got older and were like nightmares, they would do nothing but cry as a baby. That's all they did. They just cried all the time. And they were more selfish, just like naturally. I don't know how that works, but there's some people who are more naturally selfish. So they cry more, they're selfish more, they don't get along with others, they're antisocial, yada, 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 right? So you witness that as the oldest brother of 11 children, and you go, well, they were raised in the exact same household. One didn't get treated differently than the other. They were just born different. And that's like a big, you know, it's like a core belief for me. It helps me understand the world so quickly. Having grown up in that is a core belief for me. Just understanding that it's like, you can't help people, you can't change people. You ever hear that? Don't try to change your spouse. You know, that's a real thing. Don't try to change, don't waste your time. It's not going to work. I mean, you can beat them over the head for a while and they'll change for a little while, but it's not permanent. They'll go back to whatever it is you don't like or whatever it is you're fighting over. You just have to lower your expectations. That's what actually works, is you have to lower your expectations. So no amount of fighting will ever change me or another person, or, you know, you just have to find a way for them to fit in like a puzzle piece, or lower your expectations of that person. And then then you get along. And it's a really fascinating issue. To me anyways. Very nice. Show some fun grails. Your worldviews are so negative. Doesn't it get exhausting? I'm trying to ask this in the nicest way possible. Yeah, I know. And that's what I was saying earlier. I was like, if you hear me talk enough, you must get a sense of my personality type. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't feel bad. I'm not jumping off a bridge. There's probably people who have, like, more euphoria than me, and they have jumped off a bridge. So I'm not super euphoric or anything, but I'm still around. All right, so let's see. We're going to say Topps, Chrome, Darth Maul. Here we are. It's my environment. I'm a victim of my environment. I'm in Missouri, and it's boring out here today, so I have to complain. Here we are. That's one of the theories, is that we aren't really ourselves, we're our environment. But I don't know. I think it's actually genetics. But then you get into the conversation about genetic expression. So maybe genes are just adapting to the environment. Right, so it's really fascinating. Man, I really like the way this card looks. This is a really cool Darth Maul card. But it's looking like he might be about 150. Let me check sold real fast. I'd say somewhat a built callous with your experience. Yeah, I would say so. There's a sense of like frustration for sure, I would say. Too many bad experiences. You know, the $12,000 stolen credit card guy, that's just another bad experience. And same with the shady Japanese vendor, another bad experience. It's so often, you know, if you build something nice, somebody will come after you to take it from you, is basically what you learn. If you build something nice, somebody will try to take it from you. And it's like, Jesus Christ, dude. All right, let's see. It makes something in you rumble for a while. All right, so let's price this guy up. It ain't right. Well, shucks. We're gonna say 150 on this for now. We can always lower the price later if he doesn't sell. And let's see. I have lots to think about and nothing but time. Here's ooh, I like this card as well. Look at this. Warriors of the Force. Yeah, I mean, there's people out there who probably like post on Facebook about being in love with their partner and how their partner's the best person ever, and then they divorce, you know, a little while later. I'm not that way. I'm more pragmatic, and you do hear skepticism in my voice, and you probably hear frustration and annoyance and all those other things, you know, all those things that make you the life of the party. But you know, it's just it's a fascinating thing, because then those guys who actually do post on Facebook about how great their partner is, the irony is they actually do break up later. Here's Kobeni. But then again, everybody's breaking up. Oh, you hear a lot about that. 12K, what did he buy? He bought a lot of XY product for sure. So a lot of XY, some 151. Luckily, it did not get shipped out to him. He wanted it to be shipped out, but it did not. So he did not succeed in stealing, which is what he was hoping to do. All right, let's see. So Kobeni. She's so cute. Let's see, Kobeni Weiss. Let's see. Yeah, he wanted to open more Evolving Skies, but after he opened the initial packs, remember what I said? I said no more. So that was lucky too. We are. He opened a box of the Crimson Haze. But I've got them all. They're all right here. So I'm hoping to pick through all the holos and find a couple that grade 10. You know, a whole box of Crimson did I say Crimson Haze? Crimson Invasion is what he opened, right? So I only have to find a couple holos to grade 10 to pay for the whole box. Doesn't have to be the chase card. So that'll be okay probably. That's thanks to the fact that the Crimson Invasion cards right now are probably undervalued. No, but I think my brain's always kind of like calculating. It's always trying to figure things out. Almost like the way you try to figure out how to win in a video game. So my brain's looking for relationships between ideas. It's looking for strategy. It's looking for an understanding of things. It's trying to understand like reality, like what is reality. It's always trying to figure that part out. Like, what are the real rules? You're told by like politicians and your school teacher and your mom and dad what the rules are, but they're all liars actually. They all have like worldviews, they have belief systems. You know, like an advertisement tries to feed you a belief about reality. But then there's the real reality, like the like the truth, I guess you could say. So my brain's always searching for that. Maybe part of the cynicism, the skepticism, the frustration is sort of realizing that the world is not, you know, cherub angels and unconditional love. Is you get older and you realize how crass it all actually is. It's actually pretty, you know, it's like Heart of Darkness. Do you guys read that book in college, Heart of Darkness? It's more like that. And maybe it's disappointing. I don't know. You can't spend all your time being gloom about it or glum or whatever it is, but you get a sense of that. You definitely do. You get a sense that it's like, man, this just existence itself is pretty frustrating. Here's Bayan Kuya Kuchiki. All right. Yeah. Okay. Very nice. Let's see. Big Brother back. So we've got Bayakuya Kuchiki and Yachiru Unuhana. Chris, he spent like 12K, but TCC got him. Yeah, I'm going to do my best to make my money back on the cards that are still here. And then we're going to file out a police report. I don't know if it's somebody who can be caught. He might have been using a fake name, fake IP address, fake address. But we're going to fill out a police report and tell the police what happened. So, ooh, look at that. See, it's kind of nice. So we do have a lot of cards here, and we may be able to earn back all the money if they grade well. Now, if they don't grade well, that's too bad. But we're going to do our best. Oops, this is on camera. Lots of cards here. I think probably a lot of 9s. Now, one of the tough parts is it's going to take a while because they have to be graded. That's the truth. So they have to be graded, and grading can take a while. They have to be graded. Most will not be 10s, just like normal. Some will be 10s, and we're going to rely on those to earn back the money. But it's all here, so that's the good part. Don't wait a year to do that police report. Yeah, I agree with you. I got you. I'm a very busy person, so I need to figure out how it's done. I'm going to ask Alexis when she comes over because she probably knows all about it. She comes over. Oh, she comes over today. Today's Friday. Oh, I got to get the shipping ready for her. What time is it, by the way? 5:30. We got a little time left together, guys. Let's see. So today we added something to... Ooh, we have a Jeremy Torres order. Today we added something to the Pokeshuffles. We added a Tammy pack, a Tammy booster pack. All right, let's see. What should I do today for fun? I went swimming. Did you guys catch that? So before the stream, part of the reason we didn't start sooner, I went out to a public pool and I went swimming for like 2 hours. It was nice. It wasn't too hot even. It was like 100 degrees, but no sun out. There we go. Are you $12,000 busy? We are 1, 2, 3. A little bit, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. I mean, by the end of one day of sales, we'll probably have 3,000 to 4,000 in sales. Now, what do we have? Whoa! One whole cold round of cards. Probably like 3,000. There we go. All right. You again. How's it going, sir? Just got off work. You just got off work? How'd work go? Man, look at all these non-Pokemon cards, bro. I should have told Kara she could only open Pokemon. Okay, we just been pricing up this return piece by piece. Here's a Ghost's Right Hand and a Power and a Chainsaw Man. I can't imagine it'll take more than 2 hours. Just saying. I'll go back to being quiet. Oh, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to ask Alexis a bit about it. She probably knows the local police station over there. I don't know if I have to like go there or fill it out online or what, but I'm just going to ask her when she comes over. Not only that, the next day someone tried to do another order. Thank God Mr. didn't do it. Here we are. Well, I guess I'm more suspicious. But, so here's the deal. The website has gone through some changes. Yesterday, Karis and I spent hours together working on the website, and we activated a higher level of security for credit card usage. So now if, I don't know exactly how it should work, but it's basically a service called, I think it's called like 3DS. So we activated that, and now if you try to use your credit card on the website, it will let your bank know that you're using it. And I think if you place a larger order, it will actually ask for security. It will ask for like a, is this really you? I'm pretty sure it'll do that. We tried testing it, but people were testing it with $1, so we don't know if it's actually working yet. But it should be working because we did turn it on. And then the other thing is, first-time orders, we're probably going to ask for, you're going to receive a special signature requirement on your first order. Most people will. It depends on how you were buying. So if you're buying like with credit card over the website, and if you're buying with PayPal, I don't care. So if you're paying with PayPal, I trust PayPal a lot. But if you're paying on the website with credit card and you're a first-time buyer, we will actually be using signature confirmation along with photo ID. So you can do that. So the mailman will come up to you and ask for your like a license or a government-issued ID. That's what they'll do. And they'll scan that, and that's how they'll know that you're who you claim you are when you receive the package. So it's just kind of a little bit tougher system for first-time buyers. Not really a big change at all, actually, because it'll affect almost no one. The only concern I would have is hopefully it doesn't like delay you receiving your package, because I don't like that. All right, so this card is a 90. Yeah, I don't want anyone to miss their cards because they couldn't sign for it. But it's got to be done for first-time orders. It's got to be done. You are? If you don't pay the PSA upcharge, what happens, says Mr. Russ? Are you asking if I don't pay it? I mean, if I don't pay it, they're not going to ship it home to me. If you don't pay it, I'm going to be like, bro. I've never had that problem where someone doesn't want to pay. So here are the other two cards, by the way. Look at that. They just both popped up. So 175 and 150. I don't know about this costing more than this, but yeah, I don't know. Actually, that might be a triple R. Oh, it's a triple R. It's a triple R. That's what's going on. Okay, now it does make more sense. Triple R's are more rare. Okay, but I'm going to just set it at 150. I'm not going to set 175. Who cares about 175? Chainsaw Man. Karis opened a case of Chainsaw Man to grade it and definitely lost money here. Darn. Something to think about, huh? Do they sell your cards? Not to you. They carp the cards. Can I order through the website too, mister? I think you should be able to. Yeah, I mean, you're placing orders through PayPal, so you're definitely you. That's what I like about PayPal. So that was another thing. So like for new guys, if they want to use a credit card, I'm thinking about asking them to place an order through PayPal to really confirm who they are, because you have to have the credentials to log into PayPal. With the stolen credit card, you don't need any credentials. You just have like, the number, right? You have the credit card number and the security code. But with PayPal, you really have to have the credentials. So you are who you say you are. That's the most important part. Unless you have both the stolen credit card and a stolen PayPal account. I guess that's possible. I've never had that happen, though. I've never had a stolen PayPal account before. Yeah, I've never had a stolen PayPal account before. That's never happened in 7 years. PayPal and Zelle. Is that Poker Gyro still available? Yes, for now. You've got a shot at it. I should buy it. Nah, I'm okay. I've got so many poker cards. But I'll help this gentleman sell his poker card. Yeah, so, we beefed up the security on the site. And then we're going to have a new requirement to really understand who we have when it's a new guy paying with credit cards. And that should do it. That should scare off any other credit card thieves. Because what happened was that was a credit card thief. That was a credit card thief. Maybe not even a clever one. I mean, if he was smart, he wouldn't have ordered so much, because he was going to activate, he was going to make somebody aware of all those charges. Imagine he spent like $100 and shipped it. Well, he would actually be getting those cards right now. And then he spent, I don't know, maybe another $100 and shipped it. Again, he'd probably be getting those cards. He spent all that money and alerted the bank and alerted the original owner of the card. So, yes, it wasn't even a good strategy. But it makes you wonder how they get a hold of that. I guess maybe they're buying the card number off of the black market or something. It's just a horrible thing. All right. Is the queue long? I sent an order through the store. No, the queue's not terribly long right now. We have Chris Abruzzo, 2 Ascended Heroes. We had a little bit of a lull there in the orders. Here we are. Now we're getting back to it. Chris Abruzzo. Yeah, if you guys ever hear me ranting too much in the live stream, it's almost always a sign that the orders have slowed down. You get to hear me yap, 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 yap. You get to hear me talk. There you are. And you go, what's up with this guy? This guy's crazy. Toss this over here. What's the pack split? The pack split. The pack split is a vintage booster pack where everybody gets one card from the pack at random. That's what it is. Everybody gets one card from the pack at random. So if you buy a $100 spot in the, Gym Heroes Vintage Pack Split, you have a 1 in 10 chances of being the guy who pulls the holographic card. But even if you were to miss the holographic card, you might be the guy who pulls Misty's Tears. So there's actually 2 exciting cards in that set. And then, of course, even if you don't pull those 2 things, you might pull Lieutenant Surge's Pikachu, which is in the set. So there's a lot to look forward to, and it's a very expensive booster pack. Because if you pull any of those things, you've just made potentially hundreds of dollars, depending on how it grades. A lot of hoops to jump through. You got to jump through the grading hoops to see how it ends up. Chris Abruzzo picking up a snow run. All right, and I think we made your bag nicer. Yeah, we did. So your bag's all up to date. Isn't that nice? That's you. It's called TCC Top Card Economist. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. I talk a lot. I can talk about anything, by the way, so we don't have to talk about, my neuroticism, my I don't trust nobody. We don't have to talk about any of that kind of stuff. You guys can always start a conversation about something that you find interesting. All right, we're jumping over here. Oh, maybe he didn't mean what's the pack split, how does it work? Maybe he's asking what is the pack right now. So the pack right now is Gym Heroes and Phantom Forces. Gym Heroes and Phantom Tax. How about you talk about that Gold Star Rayquaza selling for $600 on Fanatics? Yeah, I heard about that. The most expensive Rayquaza ever sold, $600,000. Gold Star Rayquaza, reaching a price similar to the base set Charizard. It's a good day to be sitting on Gold Stars, guys, because, you know, I heard that the Gold Star Mew sold for $200 as well. Guess I should have bought more Gold Stars. I was so close to buying a Gold Star PSA 10 Torchic. I bid like $40,000 on it in the past, and I gave up after 40 because it was just too dear for me. But here's the crazy part. I had the money to go deeper, and I just didn't want to because I was like, I have no operating money, and, you know, I'll be bare bones, you know. So I had that cash laying around in the account, but you take any more cash from me, and now we're running a card shop with no cash. So, but I got these two sweet deals, and, you know, if the Rayquaza is $600, I hope these are both $200. Something like that. Purchased for just $22,000 and $19,000, which would have been considered a really crazy amount of money to spend on a Pokemon card. So you have to be a Pokemon card freak to be spending every dollar you got on just a hope and a dream on these cards not losing value even, right? So back then, if you bought these cards back then, you'd almost have to wonder, are these about to crash in price? You know, you'd have to be scared of that. Let me sort highest price on this. Oh, there's no Gold Star Gyarados for sale. Dude, if the Gold Star Gyarados is ever $600,000, I swear to God, I'm just going to sell them, and then I'm going to pay for a house in cash, and then I'm never going to pay a mortgage for the rest of my life. No, that's a lie. I just keep this guy forever. So you can't even find a Gold Star Gyarados anymore from the looks of it. On July 5th, a first edition Japanese Gold Star Gyarados sold for $25,000, so that's interesting. Let's try the Gold Star Charizard. There has to be a Gold Star Charizard for sale. He's more common. There's like almost 100 of them, right? Okay, so we are gonna sort by highest price, Gold Star Charizard, and Gold Star Charizard, the cheapest one, the cheapest English Gold Star Charizard. Wow, $500,000 in the US. That doesn't seem right at all. Look at that. So here it is, 114 likes, TD Time Adventures. He's got one for sale for $500,000. I highly doubt that this guy's worth $500,000. I mean, that's crazy. It's pretty to see it, but it's just, that can't be right. That is so much money. But the Gold Star Rayquaza sold, so you never know. Once you get up to that amount of money, it's like, who knows what happens. Maybe it all comes crashing down. You guys ever think of that? Look, there's no, like, last sold Charizard for $200,000. But here's what's interesting. This was on May 28th, and this is Charizard Gold Star Japanese. Is that right? For $130,000? That's Kid Icarus. He's a pretty serious seller. So he sold this Gold Star Japanese Zard for 1.3 or 130,000. That's a very bullish sign for this guy because the Japanese version of the card is always cheaper. Crazy. We also have PSA 10 Mudkip 10. Mudkip. Gold Star. PSA 10 Mudkip Gold Star. And he's not for sale. There's just not one for sale. Let's check sold. I bought him in auction for like 4,000 or something. 5,000 maybe. Yeah, there's no data on him. The Japanese one sold June 15th for 43,000. Unbelievable. That's crazy, man. Man. I'd like to think that ceiling is as high as the sports community, and we're nowhere near that. Yeah. All right, mister, here's a deal you can't refuse. My healthy kidney for your Gold Stars. Maybe if I was dying and I needed a kidney, and I said, who's got a match? I'll give you my Gold Star Charizard. That's serious stuff. You know, people die from not having a kidney transfer, but right now I do not need a kidney, so I'm in good luck for the moment anyways. I could see something like that happening in the future. I get diagnosed with cancer, heart disease, something's failing. I'm getting older, right? We're all getting older, so it's just part of life. When it happens, I will just accept it. Here's Aaron Bagley. Aaron Bagley, he says, one of the 151 surprise. All right, you got it. Can you believe it? We were selling these for $6 a pack not that long ago, 2 months ago maybe, and I was telling you guys to open because that's such a good price. But now we're in the future, and we have not pulled that Gengar Pikachu still. Okay, we got Weedle. Here it is. There we go. Oops. 600,000 for Gold Star Rayquaza. Now here's the deal. The Gold Star Rayquaza was usually like twice or 3 times the price of Gold Star Charizard most of the time. So I bet you today, if I wanted to sell this guy for 200, especially with the Japanese version of the card selling for 130,000, there is a very good chance this card by itself could sell for 2. That's crazy. Here's Aaron Bagley. That's why I was saying TCC Gaming was selling his cards too soon. Remember, so TCC Gaming, he started selling some of his very serious Pokemon cards, like Grail cards, and I was thinking, like, I think it might be too early to do that. Thank you, Mr. Aaron Bagley. Appreciate it. That seems low for the rarest Gold Star, only 600,000. Yeah, I mean, I think you could make an argument like that, but you know, 600,000 is 600,000. It's not walking around cash at that point. That's like the value of a home. My house that I'm living in right now is 650,000. So imagine your one Pokemon card pays for the whole home. Dude, that's stupid crazy. I don't know what to think about that. Man, there's got to be an end to it. I don't know. I wonder how much like actual investor money is getting into cards at this point. But here again, I go back to this idea. I think it's just a matter of time. Mr. Ki Hyun Ro. All right, so he is sending in a payment for 4 live customs. All right, here goes. Ready? But sport cards have cards trading for millions. You don't think Pokemon will get to that level? Well, Pokemon has some cards trading for millions, so they're not exactly far behind, I think. But yeah, I think the question is, would the Gold Stars become millions of dollars? That's the question. Here it is. Okay, you ready? Girl, Trapinch, Lotad. Oh, that's so rough. I'm so sorry, man. That's a cold round. All right. Wow. That's the live customs, everyone. Mr. Ki Hyun Ro. Let me guys show you a box break you can enter for $40. That's almost over. This is the second chance bounty. You're going in again. Mister, is PSA pack rating still open or is it still closed down? You know what's crazy? PSA pack rating is still open. Last time I checked, I don't think they're closed down. So over here, we have a box break of Crimson Invasion for $30 right here. There it is, Crimson Invasion, and it's ready to go. Looks good. Looks authentic. $30 per pack. Chance for Pikachu, chance for Gengar, Cubone, Jigglypuff is in there, Gyarados is in there. It's a great set. It's a misunderstood set. It's a misunderstood set because we're in a new time period where now you do grade the Sun and Moon Hollows and they sell for like $400, $500. And I'm getting that second chance bounty. It's mine. That closed. I don't know what you mean by closed. As long as the money printers keep on at lightning speed and inflation keeps soaring, the money needs to flow somewhere people think is safe, which is Pokemon. I don't know if that's what's driving the Pokemon market. Like, if you're truly scared of inflation, you might be buying all kinds of things, but you might be buying, like, just stocks. You might be buying real estate to rent out to somebody. You might be buying oil. You might be, you might be buying, like, a material. Pokemon cards is a speculative market. It's a market where it says somebody's going to want this thing really bad. By the way, here's one of the coolest things you could have bought that is so freaking cheap, dude. I mean, you got Gold Star selling for like 130,000, and here's a 1998 Charizard. He's literally older than the Gold Star, and he's only 5,000. And they're not even close. I mean, this guy's like a penny, basically. He costs nothing compared to this guy over here. So it's like, yeah, I definitely feel these are slept on. It would just take one rich guy to go buy all of these Poker Charizards up and raise the price by, I don't know, 25%, and then just resell them, or whatever it is he wants to do with them. But the moment anyone starts showing those off and saying, hey, look at this, I think it's pretty interesting. I think it could trigger a, you know, a rush to get a hold of these. I think Pokemon has moved past speculation. 30-year track record of outperforming the S&P 500. Yeah, well, you know, it did have those bad years in 2023 and 2024, and I bet that shook a whole bunch of people out of the hobby. I didn't leave, and I was still buying stuff. I bought stuff in 2023, 2024. I did also sell stuff too, though, but you know why I was selling? It's because I felt confident I could replace it all. I was like, I'll run into this again. That's how I felt about it. I was like, you know, here's a sale. I'll run into this again. So I shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have sold off so many good cards at that time period. Every card I sold off, I missed off on like a ×10 appreciation on it. But wow, this card's amazing. Topps, Morning for Padme. Morning for Padme. And this one's going to be 25,000. Yeah, right, dude. Look, here it is. They're just showing it off. They don't want to resell it. They want 25,000 for it. Morning for Padme. Same exact card, 2024, Topps Chrome. It's not. It's like a $150 card. It's they just don't want it to sell. They want to show it off. Oh, here it is. It has a last sold of like 190. Ooh, okay. So we'll do that. We'll do 190. It must be desirable. Do you want to see it? So there it is. Darth Vader, Padme's tomb. Padme's tomb. Pretty sad. Their love was pure like the ocean. Sort of. Let's see. The S&P, the Pokemon has moved past speculation. The S&P, maybe I could trade you a week at your lakefront Airbnb for that vacation you wanted for some cards, mister. Oh, a week at our lakefront Airbnb for that vacation you wanted for some cards. I mean, have you seen my house? Here, let me show you my house. I might not need that. Hold on, let me show you. Hold on. I don't really need a lake house vacation. I could use a city vacation. So this is my house. Oops. We gotta get rid of these sticks. I never go out on that patio though. Here we are. There you have it. Karis and I actually rent a lake house out right now. So we have this one and we rent another one. They're cheap though. They're out here in Missouri. Lake houses are, it turns out they're very cheap out here. All right. Different lakes can be good though. I mean, you might be right. I'm not a vacation-y kind of guy. The last vacation Karis and I had, I guess you could argue Nashville was technically a vacation. It was like 2 days though. We spent 2 days in Nashville running around. It was okay. Looks nice out. It is nice out. It's July. This is the best week, the best month in Lake of the Ozarks is July. Water temperatures are probably in the 80s right now. One of the lakes near me started getting an aggressive algae bloom. Ugh, yuck. All right, guys. Well, it's 5:52. Let's see. I'm just looking around. Yeah, we might be leaving Lake of the Ozarks. We're living here now. We might be leaving it. We're thinking about it a lot. There's just not enough to do out here. Like, the lake is super awesome, and then after that, nothing. Boring. Tennessee Lake House would be an upgrade. Tennessee Lake House costs a lot of money. But we've been working for almost a decade together with no children. So we might be able to sneak into one of those. Porygon, Rahorn, Hitmonlee, I'm in Michigan. Why not San Diego? Yeah, we've analyzed San Diego a lot. Karis kind of does want to move to California despite all the costs. She's like, I want to go there. I called her a hippie. I called her a stinky leftist Democrat, and I called her gay. That's what I did when she said that. But no, actually, when we look at it, it seems that the houses probably are around 1 million to 2 million, right? And the truth is, if we sell all 3 of these homes, we can move into the San Diego area, especially if we choose an affordable home. So we're not going to be living, we're not going to be living like, rich people or anything in San Diego. We just have like a regular cookie cutter home. That's all we could afford. And I would start paying San Diego income tax, which is one of the highest in the nations. Compare that with a 5% Missouri tax, and that's a progressive tax rate, so it doesn't start at 5. So I only pay like 5% income tax in Missouri. I save a lot of money. But also the property taxes out here are pretty low. I don't really pay much for property taxes. So, and then the cost of living, like food and all that, that's really low. So I save a lot just being here rather than being in California, and it's a consideration. But there's one more part, and it really scares me. This is probably the most expensive part. We didn't realize it till later. If I move into California, I become a Californian selling cards to other Californians. So the sales tax changes. Right now, California charges me an e-commerce sales tax. It's not very much. In fact, it's not very much until after I make $600,000 of sales to California, which I almost never hit that number. I don't think I've ever hit it. So currently, I don't hit that number of 600,000. So they don't really consider me, a big deal. I'm a small fry. The moment I've moved into California, now I'm a California card shop selling cards to other Californians, and I gain what's called a physical tax nexus with California. This means I will pay the full 9% sales tax every time a card sells. I don't know if you've noticed this, but when we sell you cards, there's no sales tax at the checkout. That's a part of our pricing structure. And we get about maybe a quarter to 1/3 of all our sales go to California. It's a lot. And so if we move there, you will see either the prices will go up by 9%, or more likely, if you're in California, you'll pay an extra 9% on anything you buy from me. All of a sudden, $50 of Pokeshuffles becomes, $55. So anything you buy, $110 of cards instead of $100 of cards. That's what it'll feel like. And that can really affect sales, I think, because we're already kind of pricey. Like, we're like DoorDash for Pokemon cards. You pay a little extra, that's the agreement. It costs a little extra, but we entertain, we host products that you can't get anywhere else. We host these breaks, but it costs a little extra, right? So that's already the idea of the channel. It's you're paying somebody to be a bartender rather than going to the grocery store and just buying yourself some beer. And that works, but you add that extra 9% on, and that's a drag on the sales because people will buy less cards, or they'll look at the price and be like, oh my God, that's way too high. Oh, I got to pay that and 9% taxes? Oh, man. So, that's a drag on sales. Either it will present itself as lower sales from California, one of our biggest clients in the country, or it will just be somebody who decides this is too expensive entirely. Or I'll eat the 9%. That's what I meant to say. So what'll happen is maybe I won't add taxes, but at the end of the year, I'll pay 9% sales tax on anything I sold to California. And so a huge chunk of money comes out of our profits and goes to California before I even go on to pay California's 14% income tax, which we would fall into that bracket near the end. So not the whole bracket, but some of it reaches that point. And it's like, dear Lord, I could just go somewhere else and not pay all those fees and taxes. And then again, on top of that, presumably the cost of living's higher. I'm sure it is, right? Here's Rhyhorn. Cali ain't bad. I'm sure it's pretty. I didn't say the land is bad. There's nothing wrong with the land. Actually, I don't think I've ever said that. I think everyone universally agrees. Ocean, sand, 70 degrees. It's all pretty sweet, right? It's the policies. The policies are very anti-business, and the tax rates are very anti-business. So it's like, so on top of gaining the physical tax nexus, we got the 14% income tax. your guys' property tax rate is pretty much double what I'm paying right now. So you're forced to buy a big house because that's the only thing they have is expensive homes. And then after you've purchased $1 million home, you're forced to pay almost double the property taxes that anyone else in the country pays. The only place with the higher property tax is Texas, but you could buy a cheap home and have like a mansion. So, you know, for them, 800,000 is a mansion. And that's the difference there. But so, and I'm not moving to Texas. I don't really like them either. Texas is too hot. But so there's the problem. So you get this high cost of living, you get this high income tax, you get this high sales tax, you get this high property tax. I mean, I did the math already. I did it over and over again. And I'm not going to tell you how much extra we're going to pay because you were just going to maybe reverse engineer that information. But it's such a ridiculous amount that it just makes you go, I don't know, dude. Is it worth it? Maybe it's worth it. And actually, that's one of the things Kirsten and I talked about is maybe we should go on a vacation to California. So we can say that we were there, we could feel it. There might be some other downsides, like some social downsides, like issues with homelessness, issues with crime, potential for a big earthquake, potential for tax rates to go up further from where they're already at. You know, so there's potentially some other downsides, but you know, assuming policies get worse rather than better. But yeah, it's a tough decision. I think that as nice as the lifestyle might be, it might be such a heavy trade-off that it drives people out for sure. But people also go in too, so it's hard to say. Let's see. Some people are saying California's bad. Only some spots in California, because California is like 50-50 on good or not. There's a 10% sales tax in the city there. Let it burn, says J-Dog. Been living in the Bay Area. I'm not leaving. I just think you would improve your lifestyle by more than double. Life isn't all about money. No, I agree with that. So like the point of money is to be able to buy whatever it is you want. So for me, I don't know what stage in life I'm at. Like, I don't know if I'm still in an accumulation phase or let's spend all this before I'm dead phase, but I'm already 37. But I think one of the problems is, you know, there's this perception that it's the best place to live in the world or something like that, or in America. But there might be some alternatives, you know, like there might be some nice places in Utah that you see a lot of people kind of gathering around. You see a lot of movement over there. There might be a nice place in South Carolina. It's the opposite side of the map, right? That's the East Coast. And they definitely get hotter and muggier, but they have a very mild winter. And it's like, you look at the data and it's like, okay. You know, it's not that insane actually to consider it. When you consider that the property taxes are very low and they're actively getting rid of their income tax. And I wouldn't have a physical tax nexus with California. I'd have one with South Carolina. So I can continue to sell cards to California without the big 9% sales tax. It's a business advantage. Let's say I was like strictly a YouTuber with the strictly like ad revenue income. Well, then it wouldn't matter. So it wouldn't matter. But I'm a unique situation. Like, let's say I'm a card store. Let's say I sell these 2 cards, and let's speculate for a minute that they cost $200,000 a piece each. And I'm in California instead of South Carolina. South Carolina income tax 5%. So I'm going to lose 5% when I sell these for whatever I sell them for. But let's say they both sell for $200,000. I got an offer on this guy for like 2.3, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew that. But let's say they both sell for $200,000. That's $400,000, right? And let's say I pay a flat tax of 5% in South Carolina. So I'll lose $20,000 when just those 2 cards sell. They're just 2 cards in my collection. I have a whole lot more cards than that. And then you compare that to, let's say it's a full 14% taxes in California on just those 2 card sales. We're not talking about my regular income. This would be money that comes on top of my regular income. I would lose $56,000 on that sale in California. But that number is actually a lot higher if either of these cards actually sell to a Californian. So let's say I sell it to a Californian. Well, then it would be 400,000 times 0.09. So it would be whatever that was, 56,000 plus another 36,000 in sales tax. And one of us would pay it. Either I would pay it or the buyer would pay it. But if I was in South Carolina, that wouldn't be an issue. I don't think it would. Maybe it would actually, because maybe we would carry over that 600,000 limit at that point. Yeah, it's a curious thing, isn't it? But so, the math models show you just lose, like, I don't know. What could you do with an extra $1 million over like 10 years? What could you do with that? Well, I could have all that money invested in Google stock or Tesla or Apple or some combination and just have the ability to retire and live off of dividends. I don't know. It's a lot of money. It adds up. And it's actually a pity that I live in Missouri, actually. I wish I could have been living in Tennessee for the last 7 years, because I would have just kept all that money. All that Missouri money I paid Missouri 5% every year. All that money over 7 years could have been invested, and it just wasn't. Mr. Ki Hyun Ro, he placed an order, and he says he'd like 10 Pokeshuffles. You ready? I paid for the privilege to live in Missouri. The privilege. 5% taxes for the privilege to live in good old Missouri. I could have just been in Tennessee. It's virtually the same thing. Tennessee feels exactly like Missouri. We're next door neighbors. St. Louis and Nashville are like 3 hours apart from each other. They're virtually 3 hours apart. And I could have just been living in Nashville this whole time and kept, I don't know how much I would have over 7 years. If I kept my taxes every time and invested it all into more Pokemon, it could be a substantial amount if the Pokemon card investment did as well as my other Pokemon card investments did. So, I mean, it could be, we could have lost out on like $250,000 or more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that was the real cost of living in Missouri rather than Tennessee. It could be like $250,000 that I don't have in my pocket because I lived simply in the wrong spot. And the question is, what do I do for the next 10 years? Where am I going to raise my kids? Do I want to raise my kids in San Diego? Will it be really, 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 really expensive to do that? Wow, you're just getting no luck, Mr. Ki Hyun Ro. No luck here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Woo! All right, rough round. I'm going to get you some more bonus cards, okay? First of all, I'm going to put you into that second chance break again. I am so sorry, man. It is just random. Oh, your name's different on, your name is different on the website. It's in another order. Hold on. Let's grab this. Elon lives in California, but his businesses are incorporated in Texas. Yeah, and I'm sure he can do that, but he probably just owns property in California. I don't know. He presumably spends a lot of time in Texas. Maybe he takes vacations to California. He probably has a private jet. I don't know how it works. I don't have a private jet. You think I got a private jet? I'm not flying between my homes. I can't do that. All right, so let me pick a nice card out for this gentleman. Are you ready? Mr. becomes a Disney influencer. Florida does have the velocity. I don't think I could handle Florida. I'm not Florida, man. Florida is too swampy. It's too hot. They're hot, man. And they're the hurricane capital of the country, man. Everybody glazes Florida, but man, it's musky, it's hot. It's hurricane central. Hurricane capital of America. So I don't know if I can handle all that. Dallas is spicy hot. I don't like living on the surface of the sun. It's not, humans aren't meant to do that. I don't think they are anyways. Maybe some people like it, not me. Some people like to live in Arizona. It's pretty hot there too. I couldn't do it. Many businesses are incorporated in Texas or Delaware, but do business elsewhere. Yeah. Let's see. Can you live in Florida but have your business be incorporated in a different state? So you can, but if the sales are coming from like a California home going to other Californias, you still have the physical tax nexus with California. The question ends up becoming, do I want to pay double property taxes? Do I want to pay 14% income tax rather than, let's say, 0% income tax like Tennessee's got 0? Do I want to pay 9% sales tax instead of virtually no sales tax to everyone who buys from California? You know how much money that adds up to? It adds up to staggering amounts. And so you go from living in capitalism to basically living in socialism. And you do that to gain access to the beautiful surroundings, I guess the amenities, the beach. So you gain the beach. I'm sure the beach is nice. You gain the 70-degree weather. I'm confident that's nice. But you lose so much. And then you might discover other things you don't like. Like, what if I'm there and I just don't like the feel of it? What if I go there and it feels very snooty and it's very crowded? You know, have you guys ever considered how nice it is to get on? When I get on the highway, it's empty. I never fight to get on the highway. There's no traffic anywhere. It's extremely rare to be caught in traffic where I live. So, I mean, maybe like the weekends, maybe like the holidays, but this is like a vacation place, so people don't crowd it too much. I'm trying to reverse that in my mind to severe traffic. Okay, you're living in a place with a couple million people per city, and now every road is clogged, every restaurant you go to is clogged, every grocery store you go to is clogged. Do I love it? Is it worth, you know, is it worth all that? Maybe I just take a vacation to California. Have you ever thought of that? You can just take a vacation there. You don't have to live there. But I don't know. It's a curious thing. I think that the 70-degree weather is probably the number one. And all of California doesn't get that either. You actually do have to live pretty close to the coast to benefit from that weather. When you get more toward the center, it heats up. California really rapidly gets up to 90 degrees if you're in the affordable housing in California. You have to pay for the $1 million to $2 million homes by the coast to benefit with that 70-degree weather. So the further back you buy, the more the weather actually starts to look just like the weather I'm in now, you know? So if you get away from the coast by like 30 minutes or 40 minutes, your weather starts to look pretty similar to Camdenton, Missouri. It's not like a relief. And so, yeah, it's kind of scary, man. Let's see. How bad is it today where I'm living? It might actually be pretty hot right now. I think we're having a heat wave. So where I'm living right now, it is July and it's 85 degrees. 85. And tomorrow it'll be 86. And on Sunday it'll be 87. So that's it. So I don't know. All that extra money to have 75-degree weather instead of 86-degree weather. I don't know. Is that worth it? It's actually really hard to quantify that, to sort of, you know, confidently say, yes, it's totally worth all of this. You got the tall palm trees, you got like the beautiful national parks, I've seen it all. I've researched it now. I've seen the hills. You got these beautiful hills. You got all kinds of quirky shops, probably lots of conventions. You know, you got museums out the ass. You've got, you know, family-friendly places. You got Six Flags and all this. And the beach, of course, very pretty. So there's a lot of good stuff. And I'm just trying to imagine, okay, the fast food workers get paid $25 an hour. How much does a hamburger cost now? You know what I mean? How much does an oil change cost now? How much does it cost to hire somebody to mow my lawn if I even have a lawn? Because a lot of California houses don't have lawns because, like over here, I have a big, beautiful lawn. It's a double lot. And I could probably find something nice like that in another state, but I don't think I would find that in California without shelling out like $3 million somehow that I don't have unless I sell off like my entire collection of cards. So it's a difficult decision. I think if you were exceedingly wealthy, like let's say you had $50 million or your parents had multiple millions and they could just take care of you, or you were just going to inherit your parents' home in California or something like that, right? I think if you're already over there situated, your parents already were kind of wealthy, you were just going to inherit their stuff, I could see a very clear argument for staying. But if you're running a business like I am that relies on e-commerce tax rates and your sales taxes, and you have an income that's pretty taxable, and you can relocate anywhere in the country, you really do have to like sit down and sort of weigh what your optimal choices are. And you do get a chance to sort of research what parts of the country have weather that is most competitive with California's weather. So it's, you know, that's one of the things that I like about South Carolina's Myrtle Beach is it's actually not that crazy. The weather, it gets pretty close. It's not perfect, but it gets surprisingly decent out there. Wait, can I look that up again? I show that off from time to time. We're just talking now. There's no sales. Here we go. So let's say San Diego, California. And then let's add one. I show this off a lot because it's a subject I like to research. I'm very, very, very interested in this. We have this ability to just go anywhere at all. And I feel like that's a big deal, the ability to go anywhere at all. So you can really choose where to go. Okay, let's try this and Myrtle Beach. You ready? Come on, man, I don't need this. What is this? Okay, here we go. So these two places are on opposite ends of the country, right? Now watch this. Are you guys watching? There it is, Myrtle Beach and San Diego weather. So yeah, it's a little bit colder in Myrtle Beach in the winter and a little bit hotter in the summer. But it's actually not that crazy, is it? And it does actually have an ocean. Pretty interesting. This idea that you have to go and spend all your money. Now look, so here we go. There's another visual representation of the weather map. So you can see on both of them, neither of them experience a very aggressive winter, because you'll notice freezing and frigid are missing. And then you'll see in the summertime, you've got this warm weather, which is 75 to 85, and then a little chunk of hot weather. So it's a four-season state. You're going to experience the four seasons. But it's just surprisingly mild. And it's really directly comparable to Naples, Italy. And it's like, you don't hear about people running out of Naples, Italy because it's so terrible. You know, you don't hear about that. So watch this. So this is Myrtle Beach and Naples, Italy. Watch this. They're like a match. They overlap. They're shifted a little bit, but they're matched. It's the same weather pattern. So it must be some kind of mix of a warmer summer along with, you know, maybe like, I don't know, like a coastal thing, like maybe being near the beach helps. I couldn't tell you how exactly works, but so yeah, I mean, doing research on weather a lot, you could probably mark California as having the optimal weather, and we're really talking about the coastal homes, not all of California. If you go inland, it's hot. It's very hot, like desert hot. Here we go. Jacob says 10 Pokeshuffles. You got it, man. It's hot if you do not live by the coast where the houses are $1 million to $2 million, right? Even just the starter house. You get like a junky house for like $800,000. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. North Carolina, superior to South Carolina in every way. Not in one way. So some of you guys don't know this because it's very new news. This just happened. South Carolina has signed a bill that will make them become a no-tax state over time. The bill states every time the state collects more taxes, the tax rate must go down. So they're currently at 5%. And if they experience growth, like if their tax base goes up, they're going to lower the taxes down from 5. Then when they reach 2%, a different set of laws kick in to bring the tax rate down to 0. Here's old maid pseudo-wudo. So they're trying to do what Florida did. And that's another thing to consider. Like there's all these states that have no taxes. And you think, oh, wow, that's a special place to live. I should go there, like Tennessee, right? Well, what does the map look like once many states copy that formula and say, we could do no taxes? Because what they really do, they're raising taxes on property or sales tax, you know, consumption tax, something like that's going up. Old maid pseudo-wudo. So the question becomes, what does the world look, what does America look like when a lot of the states follow that Texas-Florida formula? Well, I wouldn't choose Texas and Florida to be my first pick. They just wouldn't be my first pick. I probably would choose a more mild state. You know, Myrtle Beach, they get way fewer hurricanes and they're smaller. They don't get hit with quite as serious of hurricanes. They do get them, but they're not like the Florida hurricanes. Florida experiences really large ones, and they experience a lot of them. What? Old maid pseudo-wudo. Jacob, what do you think of this card? Reroll it for 35 or keep it for 40? Keep. All right. Here we are. By the way, North Carolina, if you look at Wilmington Beach, it's actually hotter than Myrtle Beach. So that's what I was doing. The reason I kind of ran in to Myrtle Beach is because I truly was studying weather patterns on the East Coast. And it's so curious for whatever reason. Once you get to South Carolina, Charleston and Myrtle get closer to whatever it is that San Diego has. And yet Myrtle beats Charleston and it beats Wilmington. So Myrtle Beach had the optimal weather as long as that map is accurate, the Weather Sparks map. You can look it up for yourself. So look up Virginia Beach area. You can look up Virginia Beach, Delaware. You can look up North Carolina. You can look up Georgia. You can look up Florida, obviously. I looked at all of them over and over and over again. And for whatever reason, Myrtle Beach had slightly better weather than all those places. It beats all of them. And so it's a very curious thing because it makes you think, you know, if it's this cheap place where you can buy a cheap home, it's underdeveloped, what stops it from developing? I mean, there's nothing wrong with the ocean. The ocean's not terrible. So that's a very curious thing for me. And you know, as somebody who's able to just kind of pick up his stuff and relocate anywhere, it's at least got to be considered, you know. All right. Let's see. Let's see. So Mr. Ki Hyun Ro, I see you tried to place an order and it did not go through, huh? 7% tax in South Carolina. It's very overdeveloped. No. The tax in South Carolina is 5%. Go look that up. It's actually 5. They lowered it to 5. And then they placed a bill that says it keeps going down. All right, let's see. So did you experience my bank rejecting it, says Musabat. Yeah, so that's what I was really curious about. So are you receiving like a security test from the bank? Did you receive like a text message? Did they say, hey, is this really you? Have you received a text message? They do, asking the security now. Ah, so there we go. So that's, Karis and I was talking about that. I was talking about how now we have a new thing. We have a security system for the website where it's going to have your bank contact you. Let's see. We activated some other security on the website too, by the way, while we were at it, not related to credit card numbers. I look at my receipt, says J-Dog. All right, guys, well, I am ready to wrap up. It's 6:20 somehow. Let's grab this. Reduced to 5.21. I'm pretty sure it's a flat tax of 4.99, isn't it? Hold on, let me look it up. South Carolina new income tax rate. Okay, so, oh no, you're right. It's 5.2. You're right. I'm sorry. Why did I think it was 4.9? Maybe that's their next target is 4.9. New deduction. The law establishes the South Carolina law establishes trigger mechanisms to further lower the tax rate with the goal of achieving a flat 2% rate or fully eliminating the income tax revenue if benchmarks are met. That's the goal. They want to get rid of their income tax, just like Florida. So they're trying to pull a Florida. Tennessee's already done it. Missouri's trying to do it. It gets voted on in Missouri in August. So I think a lot of these red states will try to do the same thing. Oops, let me see. Let's see. All right, we'll hit pause. There we go. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hand this out. We're going to hit refresh. If you want to improve lifestyle, Myrtle Beach ain't it, Chief? There we go. That's a great conversation too. How would you say that it's maybe like a crappy place? All right, go ahead and type in TCC and we'll see who posts this. Yeah, what would you say are your criticisms of it, Mr. Nicholas? I've been to Wilmington, by the way. So I've been to North Carolina, Wilmington. What stood out to me felt a lot like Missouri, actually. The weather was about the same. Warm, muggy, and yeah, I mean, the beach was just the beach. It wasn't like the white sandy beaches from Florida, by the way. Florida has the southern end of Florida has true white sandy beaches. They're sparkling and amazing. It's really cool. But this was more like a swampy beach almost, just a slightly different thing. Like the water's not quite as clear, the rocks aren't as smooth, but it's still warm. So you could actually just go play in it. It's not terribly different. It was cold day for me, but it was fun. Come Washington. Come to Washington. Okay, let me hit refresh on this. Here's catnip. We've considered Washington as well, actually, yeah. Here's 18, catnip. Let's see. Don't fix something that's not broken, just visit those places. Here's Chris, number 19, Chris. Chris, you're getting a lot of these. And then number 20. Myrtle Beach is a party spot only. And here's Ivan. What is that? What exactly does that mean when you say that? You mean like you would hate to live there? What is it that you don't like about it that would be bad to live there? Here's 16. Who was 16? Ding Ting? Ding Ting got a win? That's funny. All right. Look at the Myrtle Beach crime rate. We're going to say Ding Ting. 726. Those are, let's see. Those are interesting things to talk about, like the crime rate. You know, I grew up in St. Louis. That region had a ton of crime too. So I guess crime rate doesn't necessarily scare me off, because usually what it means is stay away from certain parts of, you know, the city. All right. There we go. Yeah, usually it means stay away from the wrong parts of the city. That's what it means. It doesn't mean the whole area is just, everyone's just getting shot up all day long. But no, crime rates matter. Let's see, you got to deal with rain. Oh, Washington has a lot of rain. Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, it's an interesting conversation, guys. Charleston's also a consideration, but they're slightly hotter than Myrtle. But you know what's interesting? Myrtle Beach is cheaper. Like I said, I think it's a developing area, and I think that's what makes it so affordable. So it's very fascinating, and I would not be surprised to see it continue to grow. You know, if you're calling it like a party place only, well, that's basically what Las Vegas was. It was a party place only. Look at it now. It's like a sprawling city now. It's huge. And I think that's just generally how it goes. You know, if you build something people like to go on vacation toward, maybe they want more than vacation. Maybe they actually want to stay near there, right? Like if the beach draws them in, the beach isn't going anywhere. It's nice. It's just always nice. That's the same argument for San Diego, isn't it? The beach is nice. What is your goal? Cheaper taxes or lifestyle improvements? Probably a combination. You know, so it's about optimization, right? Like if I strictly wanted lifestyle improvement, I'd probably try to pick the most expensive house I can afford in a place like San Diego, California. And then I'd probably sell a bunch of cards to get there. That's probably what would happen. I'd probably liquidate them on eBay. So that would be pure lifestyle. And yet I would lose so much to acquire that. I wouldn't be, you know, like I would be spending my money on liabilities rather than investing into assets. So it's this huge trade-off. And I just can't confirm if it's truly worth it. All right, let's see. What is your goal? Cheaper taxes? I got shot there. You got shot in Myrtle Beach? Ouch. What? All right. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it. I'm going to go ahead and hop off for the day. I'll be back on for the late night stream for Friday. I hope to see you guys there. 6:30. I got to go take Karis out to eat or something, okay? I'll see you guys later. Seems like you're looking for excitement. I've chosen to stay in quiet areas. Too many young people and issues. I'm 40 and I'm already done with those issues. No, that's not true. I like quiet areas too, but you can buy a quiet area and still live like 30 minutes near something to do, you know what I mean? Lake of the Ozarks, for example, isn't exactly quiet. Like, it is quiet for most of the year, but then it gets really rowdy, you know? So, you know, it's good to have things to do. All right, guys. And I haven't made up my mind either, by the way. I'm just thinking about it a lot. See you later, everybody.